Men are merely summoning basic professional weapons. This shocked everyone around him. This is simply because the owner of this weapon is someone who stands at the pinnacle of the player experience. Black Sickle. It turns out the man wanted to obtain this weapon. The first thing after being reborn. It's about killing 999 goblins. This is used to trigger the quest to summon an angel. But when the angel is about to give the reward for the task, the man punched the angel without hesitation. While the angels were still in shock, the man stepped forward the next second, tear off the angel's wings directly. Because men understand, a charming and shy angel. Deep down, he is a devil who sees humanity as worthless. The real reason he killed the angel. It was to obtain this angel's heart. Using angel's heart allows you to change your class to the unique one. Hidden job. In his previous life, he relied on his Grim Reaper profession. Only then did I successfully reach the final level. But to everyone's surprise, the boss room requires 5 players to open. Those who fail to meet the conditions are eliminated before the final stage. Waking up again. I returned to the first day of the angel's descent. This will be my last chance. When the clock struck 12, golden light shimmered in the air. The arrival of angels made the night seem like day. No one knew what had happened. No matter how many times I look at that face, I still hate it. The angel looked at him as if he were an ant. This must be a new trend for the new year. The man exploded the next moment. The angels are giving a sermon. Ants have no right to interrupt. I will explain the current situation to the ants. You will go to a new world to play a game. Your souls will be taken to a new world. But don't worry, there are age restrictions for participants in this game. People aged 15 to 25 will be brought in. As long as the specified task is completed, then you will return to this world and receive a generous reward. Now it's your game time. A flash of white light. Everyone has entered a virtual space where each person can create their own avatar. At the same time, you need to redefine your name. The man didn't hesitate at all. He had already used this name 99 times. This name will be used to complete the final mission. Soon a large number of players flooded in. Everyone crafted their own image to be incredibly charming. He was well aware that being too conspicuous could easily lead to misfortune. The next moment an angel descended. This announcement signifies that the number of players in this game has reached 1.8 billion. The people around them didn't believe it at all. No matter how they looked at it, there didn't seem to be that many people. The angel angrily remarked on humanity's folly, questioning how such a place could possibly exist only once. The angel said that if you silently think of a window will appear. The window records all your attributes and items. All you have to do is survive for 20 seconds in the game. Now it's your game time. When a crisp snap of the fingers rang out, goblins appeared on this land. The crowd looked at the monster before them with fear. The angel stated that this was a battle between 50,000 goblins and 10,000. The group looked on in fear as the goblins attacked. Just then, the man stepped forward. Men deeply understand that when you are in a team, the first impression one makes on others is especially important. This is simply to distinguish oneself from the weak. More importantly, I must gain the attention of angels. It made her have a deeper impression of herself. Everyone watched as Black Scythe easily killed the goblin. I think maybe I can do it too. Just when everyone was eager to try, the goblin killed the man without hesitation. At this moment, everyone finally realized that they were no match for the goblins. The entire area was locked by a barrier, making escape impossible. The angel was very pleased with the group's reaction, but the next moment he was drawn to the Black Scythe. This man single-handedly killed 70 people. The angel's face was full of surprise. Before long, the man had leveled up and completed the assigned task. I spent 10 minutes frantically slaughtering goblins. I don't even know if the angels noticed. I also did this in order to get the special reward for ranking first. The top player in this area will receive a weapon exchange voucher. Looking at the weapon in front of me, without hesitation I chose, because it was my first time completing a mission that gave me the opportunity to use runes. The moment the rune was crushed, obtained the reincarnation rune, but the target has already been used 100 times. As I thought, I cannot obtain it again. Prior to this, the man won first place in the challenge. This reward was far too little for him. Make a request to the angel. The angel must provide an extra reward for him. The people nearby were incredulous upon hearing this. He actually dared to make a request of an angel, and that request had to be granted. The angel wanted nothing more than to strangle him right then and there. This privilege can only be used once a day. The next time the angel showed a sinister smile. Your performance definitely deserves a better reward. I think we should have a serious talk. Just when the angel thought he could teach this man a lesson, little did they know that this was exactly the result Black Scythe wanted. Just as the angel was about to kill Black Scythe, unexpectedly Black Scythe launched a punch. This wasn't the script she had imagined. She had no idea what the man in front of her wanted to do. Even more unbelievable was that he had actually been beaten by a human. Just as the angel was about to kill Black Scythe, turning around, Black Scythe had already vanished from the spot. The angel felt a deep chill. The Black Scythe had already reached her from behind, then grabbed the angel's wings. The intense pain terrified even the angels. Who exactly is this man? Kurosaki told him not to panic. This is just to make you behave. At this moment, the angel glared fiercely at the Black Black Scythe. I know you must have a lot of questions for me right now. I know you want to kill me because of the dagger hidden under the wing, right? You don't need to think about how to deny it. I can completely understand your heart. You agree, right, Brill? Then Black Scythe took out a dagger. It pierced the angel's heart with a devastating blow. And all that Kurosaki did, it was all to obtain a hidden achievement quest. Information I only learned after 99 reincarnations. When you obtain the killing rune, your combat attributes are doubled when fighting holy type enemies. And the most important reason for killing the angel is that only those who kill angels are qualified to participate in the Grim Reaper's initiation. The most important thing for Black Scythe right now is to upgrade. Meanwhile, the group successfully completed the mission after undergoing rigorous training. The mission was so brutal that only a little over 5,000 people survived. Soon everyone woke up after the first round. They all felt as if they had a dream, but looking at the dead people beside him, this is reality, not a dream. The man remembered the angel's words. Try to bring up the status window. It actually evoked in reality. Then he picked up the stone from the ground. As it turns out, the attributes from the game also carried over into reality. Looking at the stone in my hand, which was like powder, the feeling of power is truly amazing. News outlets are reporting on incidents involving people with superpowers. All of this unfolded exactly as Black Scythe had predicted. Those who gain power will become abnormally arrogant. When a player's level reaches a certain point, no one in the real world will be able to control them. Therefore, I must obtain the greatest power. Powerful enough to suppress everything, powerful enough to make them submit. However, now is not the time to act. The first thing Black Scythe needs to do now is going home. Looking at his sleeping younger brother, this was Black Scythe's only weakness. Her parents died in a car accident when she was young, leaving behind only her younger brother who depended on her for survival. Looking at the scars on my younger brother's hands, he will not allow anyone to harm his younger brother. The next morning, Kurosaki took his younger brother to the dance club and told her younger brother everything. The younger brother, however, was very confused as to why they had to go to the dance studio so early. Looking at my brother's injured hand, because I know the person who hurt you is in the dance club. The scene shifts to Kurosaki arriving at the dance club. You're the one who bullied my brother, right? The blonde-haired guy didn't take it seriously and even dared to tell your brother. The next moment, the blonde-haired man raised his fist and punched the Black Scythe. Black Scythe simply turned his head and dodged. This time, I'll give you a simple lesson first. Then Black Scythe threw a punch at Yellow Hair. Then the blonde-haired man was sent flying backwards. The enraged blonde-haired man yelled that he would kill Black Scythe. However, he was met with an even more ferocious attack. If you dare touch my brother again, you know you'll be 100 times worse off than you are today. Do you understand? I want to hear your answer. Soon after, Kurosaki left the dance hall with his younger brother. He should be much more obedient after today's lesson. Now I have more important things to do. The next moment, in his younger brother's shocked expression, he used all of his remaining 100,000 yuan to buy lottery tickets. It turns out that the game had 1.8 billion players involved, and half of them had already died in the first round. The remaining players are gradually realizing the importance of in-game equipment, and a large amount of real money will be spent on it in the future. These lottery tickets will be our security for the future, because Black Scythe has already memorized the previous winning numbers. The scene shifts, and the second round of battle has begun. As expected, all the players once again descended upon this world. Just like Black Scythe thought, his formidable abilities in the first round instilled fear in everyone. At that moment, the angels descended once more. Is this a new angel? Unbeknownst to everyone, the original angel had already been killed by Black Scythe. Because men clearly understand, the second round is the round where you don't have to fight goblins. Only one regional representative needs to be selected within 3 hours. The crowd was utterly bewildered. Did simply selecting a representative mean the task was complete? And the angel gave everyone a positive answer. But the only thing to add is, regional representatives wield immense power and can command anyone to do anything. This command demands absolute obedience. Next, there will be a 3-hour countdown. Just when everyone was relieved that they wouldn't have to fight this time, a meaningful smile appeared on the angel's face. At this moment, everyone was discussing who should be elected as the regional representative. But Kurosaki clearly understood that this was not the most important thing. To start the game, there must be a main quest and subquests. To acquire more resources, the current strategy is to level up during the double experience period. I need to kill these goblins as soon as possible and level up to level 10 quickly. Come and become my experience so I can change jobs faster. Provoked, the goblin immediately charged forward. At this very moment, the goblin had fallen into the hands of the Black Scythe. Black Scythe must venture deep into the forest to hunt. To ensure humanity's safety, the angels did not summon goblins on the perimeter this round. When Black Scythe arrived deep in the forest, as he expected, the number of goblins had indeed increased significantly. The hunt is about to begin. Soon the ground was covered with goblin corpses. In the immersive carnage, Black Scythe had lost track of time. I didn't expect I'd already been killing goblins here for half an hour. Looking at my window, I'm still a little short of reaching level 10. Without the slightest hesitation, increase the points on a agility. While agility is increased, one's movement speed, attack speed, and even dodge chance are also improved. Just as Black Scythe was about to continue, he noticed something amiss behind him. Looking back, although I don't know your purpose, come out. Then a blonde woman appeared before Black Scythe. He indicated that he had no malicious intent. Another man behind him also apologized. Kurosaki looked at the man in front of him, suddenly remembered something. The man's game name was Tianmo, and he was one of the 5 players he had selected. At the same time, I also need the powerful priest behind him to join my team. Could this woman be that powerful priest? Black Scythe spoke up. Why are you following me? The woman said she only saw your strength, and perhaps the chances of survival would be higher if she followed a strong person. I want to team up with you. You can also suggest anything I can do. I'd love to team up, but only if you can be of some help to me. Clearly, you haven't met my requirements yet. Watching Kurosaki's departing figure, his attitude was too arrogant. Seeing Black Scythe leave, the woman finally collapsed to the ground, her strength giving way. His power was not without reason. His aura instilled fear in me. The scene shifts, and Black Scythe continues his relentless slaughter of goblins. As they fell one by one, a higher-level werewolf was attracted. Black Scythe showed no fear whatsoever. In fact, he appeared excited. The werewolves fell one by one. When the last one fell, Black Scythe's level has also reached level 10. At this moment, a window prompt appeared in front of Black Scythe. Since he has completed the prerequisite tasks, he is now eligible to change his profession. The others on the other side looked completely bewildered. They had no idea how to change jobs. He had already completed the prerequisite tasks for becoming a Grim Reaper. The moment the angel's heart was crushed, the prompt asks whether to switch to the Grim Reaper class, which is the only available class. When Black Scythe presses the select button, the power of runes swirled around him. You have received the Death Rune, greatly enhancing your abilities. Obtain the unique weapon, the Grim Reaper's Scythe, and gain access to the Grim Reaper's exclusive skill, Death Eye. As you are the first player to complete the job advancement, you will gain the tracking skill. Simply enter the player's name, and you can obtain their appearance and location. When Black Scythe input Huang Yangmin, the system indicated that the target distance was only 190 meters. Black Scythe never expected that even after venturing so far into the forest, he would still be here. You can find him by following the signs on the ground. It seems necessary to check it out. Huang Yaomin was preparing to make a move against the two of them. The man doesn't understand why he's targeting me when we've never had any conflicts. I wasn't targeting you. My target has always been the woman behind you. She looks remarkably like the famous actress Sue Ailin. The man immediately became conflicted. If only he had known. I will definitely leave this woman secretly. After all, as the eldest son of a top conglomerate, it wouldn't be worth dying for a woman. At this moment, the henchman beside him finally noticed Black Scythe. They had no idea when Kurosaki had started standing there. Although Kurosaki himself doesn't like to get involved in troublesome matters. But these two people still have some value to me, so please leave. Looking at the Black Scythe in front of them, their performance in the first round still instilled fear in them. But Huang Yangming thought again. In reality, I could even shatter a 10-meter thick wall with a single punch. Perhaps at this point, Kurosaki was no longer a match for him. With renewed confidence, he said, Black Scythe, your tone is too arrogant. Having said that, he prepared to take action. Black Scythe simply put his weapon away. Just as Huang Yangming was wondering, I will shatter you with your most arrogant strength, making you realize that you are utterly vulnerable. Upon hearing this, Huang Yangmin thought to himself that this guy must be joking. He then raised his fist and charged at Black Scythe. But the Black Scythe appeared beside him without his noticing and struck him in an instant. Huang Yangmin couldn't believe it. He couldn't even withstand a single move from him. Black Scythe came in front of him and grabbed. What followed was a fierce attack. Seeing this, the henchman prepared to launch a sneak attack. However, Black Scythe was prepared and could not be hit at all. The rapidly moving Black Scythe suddenly reached in front of him. Summoning the Grim Reaper's Scythe takes only a moment. The man's arm flew out. He couldn't believe the gap between himself and Black Scythe was so vast. Don't worry, you won't be alone. I'll make sure your teammates die with you. Kurosaki sighed, are you trying to play hide and seek with me? Then he turned to look to the side. No matter how you hide, it's useless. A zingle slack. All that could be heard was a piercing wail echoing through the air. This is what you owe me. Kurosaki recalls the past. A former best friend gained power and united with everyone to inflict violence on him. You'll pay back all the pain you caused me. After the battle, Kurogane looked at the two people in front of him. You can rest assured they can't do anything except vote right now. The two expressed their heartfelt gratitude to Highland because Highland had no real obligation to help them. He also said that he could be given money as a reward when they returned to reality. But Kurosaki indicated that he had more important matters to attend to and left under their gazes. Meanwhile, on the other side, people were arguing incessantly over who would become the regional representatives. Everyone was talking about the benefits of being a representative, how they would treat all the players well. Just then, a green-haired player stepped forward. His words silenced everyone. Green Hair was secretly delighted. It seems my runes are working very well. At that moment, a man said, you're being too annoying. The man tried to use the persuasion rune to gain the man's approval, but the man in front of her became even more agitated. My runes had no effect on on him. The man said that all of you must vote for me, otherwise he will suffer the same fate as you. The man killed the green-haired man without warning. This situation happened unexpectedly. This man killed someone, that's a crime. The man's expression hardened. Does anyone have a problem with this? There are no prisons or police here, you must all obey me. Once I become the regional ambassador, I will be the king of this world. At the same time, Kurosaki looked out his window. While everyone else was still at level 5 or 6, he had already reached a terrifying level 16. The Black Scythe, having successfully changed jobs, is summoned by teleportation. When Black Scythe opened his eyes again, what came into view was a ground littered with corpses. It turns out this man's name is Zhao Zhizhong, and he's a notorious madman. When he turned his head and saw the Black Scythe beside him, they strode over with an air of indifference, as if they didn't recognize anyone. Black Scythe, I've been waiting for you to appear. Black Scythe said, I'd really like to hear what you're waiting for me to do. Join my camp and submit to me. You have no right to refuse. Kurosaki looked at the man in front of him. Have you ever heard the saying, trash should be in the trash can? Looking at Black Scythe's aloof and arrogant expression, the man's anger flared instantly. I will kill you. But Black Scythe ignored the man, his palms slightly open. The Grim Reaper's scythe then appeared in his hand. The scythe was covered with a terrifying blood-red aura. The man in front of him was immediately dumbfounded. A weapon had appeared out of thin air. Black Scythe spoke slowly, be careful what you say or you'll pay the price. At this moment, Zhao's face was covered with beads of sweat. His pride wouldn't allow him to back down. He roared, come at me if you dare. Kurosaki looked at the man in front of him and smiled helplessly. His legs were shaking uncontrollably, but he was still trying to be brave. If I didn't need him for the third round, I would kill him without hesitation right now. At that moment, an angel descended before everyone's eyes. 3 hours have passed, please begin your vote. The man glared angrily at the Black Scythe in front of him. He then yelled at the crowd around him, if anyone dares not vote for me, I'll kill him. I must become the regional representative. I must kill Black Scythe. The next moment, a voting window appeared in front of everyone. At this moment, most of the players looked at the man with fear. The man kept shouting, everyone must vote for me. Time's up. Let's take a look at the final voting results. Then the angel clapped his hands. The results from the regional representatives appeared prominently in the large window. The man indeed received the most votes, but he was still furious inside. He hadn't expected that after threatening them like that, half of them would still vote for Black Scythe. At that very moment, the angel announced that this man would be the future regional representative. The man grinned smugly. His first act upon gaining access was to kill Black Scythe. Next, I will grant the regional representatives the power to govern. However, the man's expression turned to terror the next moment. The regional representative's power can only be used 10 times, and each time it can only control one person. This skill cannot control players who have already changed classes. The angel smiled and said, now it's time to award the prizes. This mission has a hidden quest. Then a window appeared in front of everyone. Players who accept the job change quest and successfully change jobs before voting will receive a reward. This window will appear when you reach level 10. You foolishly wasted 3 precious hours of your time. Everyone was filled with regret. You don't need to feel too much regret or blame yourself. Out of 800 million players, only 80,000 have successfully changed jobs, and there is one player in our region who has changed jobs. Everyone was puzzled, so let's see who it was. Among 800 million people, Black Scythe was the first to complete the job change. His profession was actually that of a Grim Reaper. Everyone looked at Black Scythe. I knew from the very first round that this was a terrifying man. Zhao Zhangzhai was in the most distressed state at this moment, having originally intended to rely on his omnipotence to kill Hylian. The ranking of tasks depends on the time taken to complete them. Black Scythe not only changed jobs, but he was also the first in all regions to do so. I'm really curious about something right now. Your name is very suitable for your profession. Did you know beforehand that you were going to become a Grim Reaper? Black Scythe said it was all a coincidence, and he never expected there would be a profession that matched his name. Black Scythe was very glad that the angel only knew that this was a hidden class. She was unaware that this job change was performed using the heart of a dead angel. I also congratulate you on becoming the only person in the entire region who is not subject to the manipulation of power. Everyone in the area looked puzzled upon hearing this. What did this mean? The angels have revealed the regional representative skills. If you don't want to be manipulated, then level up to 10 as soon as possible to change jobs. Oh, and this is your reward. Rare equipment exchange scroll. Palian chose the leather armor that suited her without hesitation. Special reward for first place in the region. Black Scythe unhesitatingly chose the experience bonus, which took effect in the third round of the game. The next moment light appeared, it was time to go back. Upon returning, Black Scythe's first action wasn't to rest, but rather to activate his tracking skill. Tracking in Xiang. Sure enough, he should be in this building at this time. He then left home directly. It looks like he's going to report the situation. Prior to this, Kurosaki followed in Xiang to the front of the building. At this time, Xiang was meeting on Ma Tianlu. Xiang said that Mr. Ma is truly a powerful player. I discovered from the leaderboard released by the angels that you are the second Dark Knight to advance to the next class. Ma Tianlu knew perfectly well that this guy must want something from him by flattering him so much. And Xiang then asked how he could successfully change jobs. Ma Tianlu, however, gave a evasive answer, claiming that he obtained the job change certificate after defeating just a few goblins. Only he knows, everyone who enters the game has one chance to get a random rune, and it was precisely because of the runes he obtained that he was able to successfully change jobs. But even with one's closest partners, one cannot tell them. At this moment downstairs, Black Scythe sighed, "What a foolish man. Choosing to become a Dark Knight was a foolish decision." The Dark Knight is an extremely powerful class. It also has an extremely severe drawback. It cannot use normal magic. Dark magic is extremely difficult to obtain in the game. This results in the Dark Knight becoming an extremely powerful, yet ultimately useless class. The next morning, Black Scythe arrived at the lottery, but this time it was to apologize to the lottery shop owner. Black Scythe obtained a prize of tens of billions by relying on his memories from his previous life. In other words, their actions led to a government order prohibiting the lottery shop from opening. Kurosaki hopes to compensate with money. After saying that, he turned and left. Then the shop owner's daughter caught up with Black Scythe. It turns out that Black Scythe's goal wasn't to go to the lottery shop, but rather to get involved with the girl in front of him. The girl is a very rare mage specializing in blessing skills. In his past life, he saved a girl during a battle with a monster. The girl's sincerity touched Black Scythe's heart. "Looking at the girl in front of me, perhaps it is another soft spot in my heart." He then jokingly suggested to the girl that they find a place for a date. Julie was shocked, clearly not expecting Black Scythe to be so direct. To Black Scythe's surprise, Julie readily agreed and said she wouldn't be late. Just as Black Scythe was about to leave, the girl hurriedly got up. "Don't you really remember me? We used to be desk mates." I vaguely remember when High Lion was bullied by his classmates. He mustered up the courage to secretly call the police. She even secretly watched him get home safely. No matter what difficulties he encounters, he always smiles. His smile heals me. Even I don't know when I started paying attention to him. I was very timid until graduation day. I didn't even have the courage to say hello. This time I will definitely not be cowardly. The morning of the second day, both of them arrived at the agreed location early. Looking at the boy in front of me, a scene that Julie could never believe in her dreams. "Oh, by the way, there's something I want to give you." Then he pulled out a hand radiating purple light from his pocket. "This is something I obtained by defeating monsters in another world, so you can't refuse it." The meeting ended shortly afterward. Black Scythe looked quite surprised as he walked down the street. Looking at the window in front of me, I couldn't help but sigh. I never expected to get this item so early this time. What might be seen by others as an ordinary low-grade amethyst, only Black Scythe knew. Characters will unlock combo skills when they reach level 20. This feature allows for the fusion of magic and weapons, and adds additional abilities. Crystal comes in 7 colors. Red increases damage, while orange enhances defense. Blue represents mana, while green represents increased agility. Cyan and yellow represent luck and damage reduction ability, respectively. Purple is considered the most useless color by everyone, and its drop rate is ridiculously low. But only Black Scythe knew that they had no idea the inlay technique for the purple crystal was different from the others. Purple crystal possesses the properties common to all crystals, making it a truly mythical item. The scene shifts, and the Black Scythe on the bed is constantly watching the shop window. The shop has most common level items. For beginners, the initial difficulties are easily overcome. Meanwhile, Black Scythe kept clicking the refresh button. High-quality items may randomly spawn, but the probability is extremely low. But Black Scythe knew that today would spawn the only epic level item. Looking at the price of 4,600 gold coins, Black Scythe was very glad that he had earned more than 10,000 gold coins in 2 rounds. Of course, you can also use the rewards given for completing the job change quest. In the end, I only spent 2,300 gold to get my first epic item. Looking at the 10,000 plus gold coins he still had, he wondered if he should buy some equipment to tide him over. After much deliberation, I abandoned the idea, because saving another 6,000 plus gold coins would have been enough to buy a new skill. Soon after, the bell rang, and everyone was pulled back into the angel game. All those who were summoned seemed completely unfamiliar with their surroundings. The towering city walls around them made everyone feel safe, and they thought this mission should be just as easy. Only Black Scythe knew that this mission was a disaster for them. The vast majority of people will die here. At this moment, Zhao Zhongjai heard the sound. "Turn around and look," Huang Yangmin shouted. He indicated that he was there to be his underling. Seeing Zhao Zhongjai's puzzled look, Huang Yangmin expressed his desire to join his faction, and he followed Zhao Zhongjai's lead. Even Zhao Zhongjai was surprised. However, gaining a follower doesn't seem to do me any harm. Seeing this, everyone agreed that this guy was too good at flattery. Meanwhile, Kurosaki smiled with a mocking tone. Just as everyone was making a fuss, an angel descended before everyone's eyes. This mission was also very simple. Then a window appeared in front of everyone. The task requires 4,900 people to participate and protect the central sacred stone for 3 hours. Just then, a player screamed in terror. This task error must be a system error. The angel thoroughly enjoyed the look of fear on the human face. This mission is correct. 75% of the players players will be eliminated, because the rule is that half of the players are eliminated in each round. Since you all survived the last round, according to the rules, only 1/4 of you can survive this round. The relaxed atmosphere instantly became tense. Goblins will emerge from the town's 4 gates. Their goal was to destroy the central government's prosperous era. Everyone needs to unite to protect the prosperous era for 3 hours. If the sacred stone breaks, you will be severely punished. It's also worth mentioning that rewards will be given based on the number of monsters killed, regardless of whether the defense is successful or not. Each round, the number of monsters will be double that of humans. At this moment, Zhao Zhangzhai revealed a smug expression. With the omnipotence of the representative, he could kill even more monsters. Suddenly, Zhao Zhangzhai heard an angel call his name. The angel said there was one more thing he wanted to tell you. If the representative is killed by a monster or dies of natural causes, then the position of the representative will be vacant. But if killed by the player, the person who killed him will then become the new regional representative. The next moment, countless eyes were fixed on Zhao Zhangzhai. At this moment, Zhao Zhangzhai felt a tingling sensation on his scalp. Then he cursed the angels. Clearly, they have become the target of the vast majority of people. Zhao Zhangzhai wanted to scare everyone away. Everyone already knew the effects of his skill. They showed absolutely no fear of him, and just as everyone was about to make their move, Black Scythe stepped forward. Zhao Zhangzhai understood very well that if High Lion wanted to make a move, he would have no ability to resist. Black Scythe was just indicating that we could make a deal. Just as Zhao Zhangzhai was wondering what kind of transaction it was, Black Scythe said, "If you agree, I will protect you in this round." Zhao Zhangzhai was a little confused upon hearing this. Even the surrounding players seemed incredulous. If they have absolutely no confidence in facing Black Scythe, what are your conditions? My condition is actually very simple: obey me. Absolutely obey my orders. Zhao Zhangzhai didn't understand why someone would be willing to protect him and would need to order him around. He didn't want to obey Black Scythe, but everyone around him was eyeing him covetously. My own dignity does not allow me to bow my head. Okay, please tell me what your decision is. Black Scythe already knew what his decision was. His pride would never allow him to bow his head. I refuse. Unexpectedly, he refused for the sake of his dignity. So from now on, your life or death is none of my concern. He then turned and left. Seeing this, everyone was already eager to try. Just then, a notification sounded, announcing the arrival of the first wave of monsters. The crowd scattered and began fighting around the sacred stone. In this battle, Zhao Zhangzhai realized that he had no friends. Just when he wanted to act alone, turning his head, he saw Black Scythe all alone. Then he followed behind Black Scythe. Is that the direction of the monster entrance in the east? Does he intend to fight a whole group by himself? The next moment, Zhao Zhangzhai revealed a look of horror. There were far more goblins behind the door than I had imagined. Then he ran backwards. When he arrived at the top floor, he happened to see Black Scythe standing in front of the east gate. Countless goblins charged forward one after another, a sight that inspired great fear. Black Scythe simply swung his scythe lightly. Hundreds of goblins were sent flying backwards. Zhao Zhangzhai couldn't believe what he was seeing. This was no defense at all. It was merely a one-sided massacre by Black Scythe. I can't hide here any longer. I need to kill goblins and become stronger. I need to upgrade it secretly. Then he easily dispatched the goblin with a single strike. The goblin that attacked from behind was also killed with a single punch. Secretly pleased, he was glad his rune was a detector. But just then, the sound of wind cutting through the air passed by my ear. He narrowly escaped the attack. Looking back, it turned out to be a bow and arrow. These bastards were actually secretly watching me. Suddenly, someone behind him fired a shot at Zhao Zhangzhai. Zhao Zhangzhai was extremely angry. Gripped the spear tightly. Then he finished off the attacker with a single blow. Just then, another sneak attack came. Turning around, I saw the person who attacked me. Then the spear was thrown. The archers who had been ambushed were dealt with. Zhao Zhangzhai began to regret becoming the regional representative. Looking around, he sought out a powerful figure to rule over. He looked around in a panic. That's him, currently ranked 3rd in the region. The next moment, an all-powerful flash appeared above Zhao's head. Serve me. At the same time, Black Scythe's attack speed became increasingly terrifying. When Black Scythe opened the window, he earned 2,000 jin from the monster in just half an hour. Based on this calculation, you can purchase new skills in the second wave. I'm almost level 20. The goblin behind him slowly approached, intending to launch a sneak attack. Black Scythe could never afford to be careless on the battlefield. With a single sweeping strike, monsters several meters in size were not even killed. The surrounding goblins began to fear upon seeing this. Black Scythe will not let go of the experience and gold coins gained from walking. A short while later, a notification appeared indicating that the first wave of defense had been successful, with only 3,933 players remaining. Kurosaki looked at the corpses scattered on the ground. He's still alive, that's quite tenacious. Zhao Zhangzhai is now completely devastated. At all times, you not only have to guard against monster attacks, but also be wary of player ambushes. Fortunately, he used his omnipotent control to continue protecting himself. It was thanks to this that I was able to survive the first wave. Zhao Zhangzhai did not use his all-powerful abilities on Huang Yangmin, but Huang Yangmin still desperately tried to protect protect himself. Just then, the notification sounded again. The second wave of monsters is coming, numbering 7,866. Black Scythe remained alone at the east gate, numbly slaughtering goblins. Before long, my level increased to level 20. He also gained the Grim Reaper's exclusive skill, Knight of Death. The Knight of Death, when combined with the Death Rune, becomes even more powerful. Looking at the goblins attacking again, I'll just use you guys to test my new skill when Death Knight is activated. All the goblins were as if they were blind, and Black Scythe became truly dead, ruthlessly and indiscriminately slaughtering goblins. Black Scythe was clearly very satisfied with this result. Black Scythe then opened the shop and purchased the universal skill detection. When the skill was activated, Black Scythe clearly sensed that there was no one within 300 meters. Time kept passing and soon the last wave had arrived. Zhao's 10 all-around skills were also fully utilized. At that moment, everyone was filled with fear, because the final wave of monsters was 4 times the number of survivors. What's even more despairing is that 1,225 people must survive to end the mission. At that moment, the crowd intensified their desire to kill Zhao Zizhong. If you acquire his all-around ability in this wave, you're guaranteed to survive this round. As Zhao Zhongjai's chess pieces dwindled, all he could do was seize the opportunity to escape. Without the slightest hesitation, he ran towards the east gate, regretting that he hadn't agreed to Black Scythe's terms. They arrived in front of Black Scythe in no time. I shouted that I would agree to your conditions, and that I would agree to whatever you asked for. Black Scythe spoke calmly. I've already said your life or death is no longer my concern. Upon hearing this, Zhao Zhongjai fell into despair. I was even willing to become your subordinate, so why are you starting to reject me? Black Scythe's words plunged Zhao Zhongjai into utter despair. Without your omnipotence, you are useless to me. Zhao Zhongjai, you've really courted death. I was worried about what I would do if Hylian saved you. At this point, Zhao Zhongjai had reached the final moment, shouting that he would pull the cushion off whoever came up. At that moment, Huang Yangmin stepped out from the crowd. Seeing this, Zhao Zhongjai was overjoyed and said, "Come and help me." Taking advantage of Zhao Zhongjai's unpreparedness, Huang Yangmin launched a direct attack. Looking at the man on the ground, Huang Yangmin tears off his mask of pretense. He then pulled Zhao Zhongjai up. Punches rained down on Zhao Zhongjai's face. Huang Yangmin brutally killed Zhao Zhongjai with his fists. At this moment, a window notification appeared indicating that Huang Yangmin had become the new regional representative. Huang Yangmin, who had been awarded the regional representative position, began to fantasize. He wanted to completely control Su Ailan and make him serve him. All eyes were on Huang Yangmin. I wish I could kill him right now, but Huang Yangmin showed no fear whatsoever. He ran to the side under everyone's gaze. Huang Yangmin indicated to Hylan that he had become the regional representative. I am a valuable person to you, and I want to be your subordinate. Black Scythe, however, said that whether or not you become my subordinate doesn't make much difference to me. Now you're begging me, so you have to kneel down. That way I can consider whether or not to agree to your request. Huang Yangmin understood that if he refused the people behind him, they would kill him without hesitation. The next moment, Huang Yangmin made up his mind. I beg you, please let me become your subordinate. Looking at the man before me, I'll make you pay for all the humiliation you suffered. Black Scythe felt increasingly disgusted by this scene. I will protect you as long as you obey me. Black Scythe walked slowly forward. If you don't want to die by my hand, leave here. With Black Scythe protecting them, they had no way to kill Huang Yangmin. Seeing this, the crowd wisely turned and left. Huang Yangmin was truly astonished. Black Scythe's single sentence had instilled fear in everyone. However, at this moment, Kurosaki was staring at his surroundings. Judging from the current progress, this round of the game should be easily passed. But Black Scythe felt it was a shame to end the round like this. Black Scythe turned to Huang Yangmin and said, "Use your omnipotent control to destroy the Holy Stone by controlling 10 humans." He originally intended to save his all-around skills for Su Ailan. Try communicating with Black Scythe to see if you can be given one more chance to use him. Black Scythe said you are not qualified to negotiate with me and named 10 people. Huang Yangmin was very surprised upon hearing this. Because all his friends were included, Huang Yangmin apologized. The next moment, everyone was completely controlled. Then they launched a barrage of attacks on the prosperous era. The people around shouted, "Are you all crazy?" The moment the Golden Age crumbled signaled the failure of the main mission. A warning sent even greater fear through the crowd. The agent of divine punishment was about to descend. But Black Scythe's face only showed excitement, because he knew this was the third round of hidden missions. But to everyone's utter surprise, breaking the Golden Age will actually reduce all attributes by 50%. Is this why Kurosaki doesn't want to do it himself? But when everyone sees the mission reward, they believed it was all worth it. I just want to hold on for 30 minutes. However, the task of acting as a divine punishment agent is extremely difficult. In the previous life, only a little over 300 people survived in this round. Even the Black Scythe isn't 100%. Now Black Scythe needs to buy equipment, and all equipment will be given additional crystal attributes. The next moment, a fierce wind swept through the entire town. It looked like the end of the world. Everyone started to doubt themselves. Is this really something we can win at this stage? Black Scythe muttered to himself as it finally arrived. The next moment, a crack was torn open in the entire sky. Black Scythe thought that he was the first person to kill kill an angel made him realize that he was the first person to do so. My skills deal 100% increased damage to angels. At this moment, the sky completely shattered. A holy and radiant figure appeared before everyone. Everyone assumed a massive monster attack was imminent. If there was only one god, they should have easily survived. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief again. The agent of divine punishment moved forward slowly. Then he raised the angel's staff in his hand, lightly tapped the ground. In everyone's eye, a pale purple light curtain spread out in all directions. The blinding light made it impossible for everyone to open their eyes. The entire town was surrounded in the next moment. The agent of divine punishment unleashed a divine domain. All players affected by this domain have their attributes reduced by 50%. The strong and healthy group of people were unable to escape the town center no matter what they did. Black Scythe expressed deep regret that 300 people were within the realm of the gods. Black Scythe was unable to go in and save these people. The agent of divine punishment raised his staff. Countless arrows of light flew towards the people in the domain. The skill's range covers 300 meters, allowing for attacks without any blind spots. While everyone in the field was struggling to resist, Black Scythe, operating outside its own domain, is also taking action. When hunters are hunting, they completely ignore their own backs. When the last person in the field falls, the domain was also subsequently lifted. This was the moment that Kurosaki had been waiting for. Leap up. At this moment, the agent of divine punishment did not sense the impending danger. The next moment, the death mark appeared above the agent's head, adding 120% damage. This strike hit perfectly. Black Scythe was also forced back several meters by the aura of divine punishment. The moment of landing. Without the slightest hesitation, Black Scythe continued running to the side. This attack reduced the agent's health by 40%, and the attack just now destroyed one of his eyes. He must be thinking of using his domain to control my actions right now. But the moment the divine domain descended, it was impossible to catch Black Scythe's figure. Instead, Black Scythe seized the opportunity presented by the cancellation of the domain and unleashed an explosive burst of speed. In the blink of an eye, he was in front of the agent. Black Scythe's purpose was not to launch a fierce attack. Instead, they took the other eye from the divine punishment belt. Just as the Black Scythe was about to hit the ground, the sound of divine domain activation attribute decrease rang in my ears. But there wasn't a trace of panic on Black Scythe's face because he knew. The divine punishment belt is now like a blind man, only able to blindly unleash its radiant arrows for all-around attacks. And what I need to do is stand in the initial blind spot of the attack. Furthermore, I don't need to worry about him sensing my presence, because the divine punishment belt doesn't contain ears. The hunt is about to begin. This attack must completely kill him. At this moment, Kurosaki was launching a sneak attack from behind. The Grim Reaper's scythe unleashed a lightning-fast strike. Its Black Scythe unleashed. The power of divine punishment can only be gradually weakened. The agent of divine punishment felt the pain in his back. The staff struck backward with divine power. Everything that God punishment did was within Black Scythe's expectations. Black Scythe slashed again in midair. The angel's only means of sensing the enemy's wings had all been severed by itself. Without the slightest hesitation, Black Scythe quickly ran backward. While fleeing, he checked that the divine punishment agent's health had dropped to 10%. At this moment, the agent of divine punishment trembled uncontrollably. How dare a mere human attack him? The next moment, the agent of divine punishment gripped the staff tightly and muttered to himself. Then the staff of the Punisher erupted with boundless brilliance. Black Scythe was extremely glad that he had destroyed his eyes and wings beforehand. The leader of divine punishment, stripped of his senses, could only blindly wave his staff. The entire space within 300 meters is sealed off, and a dimensional attack is launched covering the entire area. Black Scythe looked at the divine lightning striking the ground. Even a single strike from him would be fatal. The staff continuously summoned light. Looking at the swirling energy around the feet of the divine punishment agent, this indicated the activation of radiant power, granting invincibility for 30 seconds. Looking at the divine punishment agent before him, Black Scythe calculated the remaining time of his invincibility. The moment time reaches 0, a notification made Black Scythe smile smugly. His invincibility skill had ended. Black Scythe seized the opportunity and charged toward the divine punishment agent at incredible speed. Because only Black Scythe knew that there was a 3-second period of weakness after the divine punishment substitute skill ended. Crimson death power covered the Grim Reaper's scythe. With a whooshing sound, the head of the divine punishment agent was severed. Countless upgrade notifications rang in my ears. An important announcement resounded throughout the world. God's agent has been killed. You've been awarded the title of Opponent of God. The title reduces the damage of holy attacks by 80%. The biggest reason Black Scythe killed the agent of divine punishment was him, the Heart of God. The Heart of God can greatly enhance the power of death. This item was also one of the reasons why he had to kill him. This is something only gods possess. Divinity, a material used to craft god-level items. The Heart of a God is a radiant rune, capable of greatly enhancing one's death power. This series of rewards was even more surprising than Black Scythe had anticipated. The dazed crowd erupted in cheers. They couldn't believe that Black Scythe had killed a god single-handedly, and Black Black Scythe's power only instilled greater fear in everyone. Just then, the voice of an angel rang out from the heavens. Are you really human? Is this the first time a human has slain an executor of God? Black Scythe paid little attention to the angel. Seeing this, the angel could only awkwardly fly to Black Scythe and softly ask, how did you come up with the idea of killing the agent of divine punishment? Kurosaki sighed softly, what a foolish question, and then said, I just don't want to be killed by him. The angel spoke slowly. If you can easily dodge for half an hour, why go through all the trouble of killing him? Although I am cold-blooded, I still cannot tolerate him slaughtering humans in front of me. The angel seemed to understand after hearing this. Those nearby were surprised to hear this. They hadn't expected that the seemingly cold-blooded Black Scythe was actually quite kind. At this moment, the angel announced that the mission was complete. The angel's next words filled everyone with terror. Because the agents of divine punishment were killed, the current number of people has not yet reached the designated number. We will eliminate players based on the overall ranking. The leaderboard appeared in the next moment. Unsurprisingly, Black Scythe still holds the top spot on the leaderboard. He then received the exclusive reward for ranking first. You can choose a rank. Black Scythe chose the resistance ring without hesitation. Even with high attributes, being continuously controlled by abnormal statuses will be unbearable. Looking at the reward window in front of me, as expected, there was no 3x experience. Black Scythe needs more gold to buy skills. Just then, the angel's deep voice rang out, you all know your rankings, right? Humans ranked below 1,225 will all be wiped out. The people who heard this panicked and wanted to escape this hell. The angel, on the contrary, thoroughly enjoyed this moment of torture, and the smile on his face grew increasingly sinister. The next moment, the bodies of those who failed to meet the requirements slowly began to dissipate. A crisp notification then sounded, indicating that the number of participants had reached 1,225. Everyone's vision went black, and their consciousness slowly returned to reality. At this moment, Sue Aylin suddenly woke up. She was extremely grateful to have survived. In the third round, I obtained the hidden class summoner. Looking at the summoned beast that appeared in front of me, Sue Aylin was overjoyed. If it weren't for this little guy, I would have died in the third round. Looking at the reward in the backpack, I can hardly believe I got third place. This is a reward I earned. Would Black Scythe like it if I gave it to him? At this moment, Huang Yangmin on the other side was extremely furious. Black Scythe even reduced his attributes by 50% by using him. Huang Yangmin secretly vowed to kill Black Scythe. The morning of the second day, and Xiang arrived at the building early to report his situation. Ma Tianlu stated that Black Scythe was still the player ranked first in this round. I've come to report on Black Scythe's situation, and also to inform you that Sue Aylin has changed jobs. Her profession is unique. She belongs to the summoner class. I never even imagined she could become a summoner. Ma Tianlu was overjoyed upon hearing this. It seems she will be of great use in the future. He then said, you need to maintain a close relationship with Sue Aylin, even if it means you're in a romantic relationship. I need your help to keep her firmly under my control. And Xiang was unaware of Ma Tianlu's true thoughts, but still declared that they would always be loyal to him. There is also a more urgent situation to report. This is news about Black Scythe. He single-handedly killed the agent of divine punishment, as if he knew exactly how to kill him. Upon hearing this, Ma Tianlu fell into deep thought, continuing to observe this mysterious man and trying his best to win him over. I tried to get close, but Black Scythe was too powerful and didn't need anyone's help. At this point, Ma Tianlu fell silent, then said not to offend anyone yet. Suddenly, the tone shifts, and you say there's something else you want to say. What is it? A few days ago, a mysterious figure purchased a large amount of the group's stock. The number is large enough that they can participate in group decision-making. Ma Tianlu didn't understand. It was clearly just a newly established virtual world company. All the young people in the world have entered the angel game. Originally, I also wanted to take this opportunity to make some money, but I never expected that someone would be willing to invest more than 200 billion. Then Ma Tianlu said, please arrange for me to speak with the investor. Ma Tianlu was very curious about what kind of person would be willing to spend so much money to invest. Meanwhile, Kurosaki, who had returned, looked at his phone. He said, I should receive the call soon. Just then, the younger brother suddenly ran in, shouting and asking what level Black Scythe was in the angel game. It turns out that the older brother, whose classmate at the younger brother's school, had already reached level 11 and even changed jobs. Laughing at her younger brother, Kurosaki thought that telling the truth would definitely cause a lot of problems. Then he said, don't worry, I've reached level 12 and successfully changed jobs. Upon hearing this, the younger brother thought to himself that his older brother was indeed stronger. No matter how much his younger brother asked, Kurosaki refused to answer the question about the profession he had changed to. The younger brother had no choice but to leave. Just then, the phone rang. As I expected, the phone finally came. Now that you've become a shareholder of our group, I felt I should come and extend my greetings. I would love to meet you if I had the chance. Kurosaki glanced at his phone. Let's meet next Saturday. The reason Black Scythe chose Saturday was because Friday was the day he would obtain the inner thought rune. This way he can fully understand Ma Tianlu's thoughts. Now all I need to do is complete the prerequisites for the runes. The scene Scene changes. Black Scythe actually arrived at a dilapidated warehouse because he knew this will be a crucial opportunity for him to acquire runes. Runes play a crucial role in the game Angel. Everyone knows that runes can be acquired in a specified number of game rounds. It can also be obtained from bosses. Even ordinary monsters have a very small chance of obtaining it. But what no one knew was that runes could still be obtained in the real world. Because his younger brother was kidnapped in his past life, Kurosaki wants to obtain all the information he knows. But Black Scythe didn't understand the meaning of the other party's words. It turns out the man possessed inner thought runes. He knew Black Scythe was a so-called returnee. He needs to obtain all the information that Black Scythe knows about the Angel game. Kurosaki was quite surprised to learn of this. Black Scythe was reborn dozens of times in the end. He successfully rescued his younger brother and also learned how to obtain runes during this time. This time I will get the rune before the man. At that moment, Black Scythe's expression hardened. The man slowly walked towards the warehouse. He then threw the woman he had grabbed toward the ground. The woman was so frightened she dared not move. I don't understand when I offended him, but all I can do now is beg for forgiveness. But the man wasn't going to let her go. He also said that this is what happens when you look down on me, and you will pay the price. It turns out the man obtained the glowing rune in the Angel game. Men who can obtain runes. Using the power of runes, they began searching for young women and taking action, utilizing the ability of glowing runes. This caused the other party to lose their sight for a short period of time. Then a series of downstream paths were carried out. One day the man came to the coffee shop. Looking at the shop assistant in front of me, a strange smile appeared on his face. He then stated that he was a regular customer at the coffee shop. This was the first time I had ever seen her. The woman said she had just started working as well. Previously, many young people quit their jobs because of Angel game. No one wanted to continue working while constantly facing the possibility of death. The more the man looked at the woman in front of him, the more he liked her. He then suggested taking her to a bar to have some fun. The woman was quite surprised and looked embarrassed upon hearing this. It was this look that completely enraged the man. He believes that women look down on him. He will make those who underestimate him pay the price. He kidnapped the woman on her way home from get off work. I hate the look of disgust in your eyes when you look at me. He then pinned the woman down. Just as they were preparing to act, Black Scythe appeared to the side. Black Scythe spoke slowly, "Take another step and you will die right now." The man was startled by the sudden sound. The man was about to start cursing. He was instantly stunned when he saw the Black Scythe in front of him. A Black Scythe, this must be a fan of the Black Scythe. Is he imitating Black Scythe by using that prop? Are you saying he's a prop? Just a casual swing and I felt a powerful aura. You're a player, are you really Black Scythe? Black Scythe did not reply but simply said, "You can leave now." Men naturally don't want to let women go easily. Upon seeing this, Black Scythe instantly vanished from his spot. He rushed toward the man at an extremely fast speed. However, this attack did not land directly and used the other end of the sickle. The man was caught off guard by the blow. "Aren't you leaving yet?" The woman, having come to her senses, didn't want to stay a moment longer. "Now it's just the two of us left. I have something to settle with you." The man reacted quickly, drawing his dagger and lunging at Black Scythe. But in Black Scythe's eyes, his speed was incredibly slow. But looking at the short knife in the man's hand, you actually brought out the goblin dagger. However, your speed is still too slow. Then with a simple upward swing of the scythe, the man couldn't believe he was as weak as an infant in Black Scythe's hands. "Does it hurt a lot? This is just the beginning." Then he glared fiercely at the Black Scythe, but the man could hardly believe that the Black Scythe before him was now just an afterimage. Just as the man was searching for the Black Scythe, an extremely fast slash. Now only fear remained on the man's face. If this continued, he would die at the hands of Black Scythe. "I need to use the glowing rune. Only if Black Scythe is affected by my skill will I have a chance to escape." Then a dazzling light is about to rise. But the glowing rune suddenly stopped working the next moment. At this moment, the man truly panicked. His only support had been lost. Why did this happen? "Are you surprised? Why aren't your runes working?" "I activated the Night of Death skill before even entering the warehouse. No light is allowed within its range." Without hesitation, Black Scythe attacked the man. Seeing the Black Scythe hurtling towards him, the man's body had no time to react. "Want to know why I'm killing you?" Now in the man's eyes, Black Scythe is a demon, and the man desperately wants to know why. But Black Scythe clearly didn't want him to know so easily. "Raise the Grim Reaper's scythe. Start to torture men." In fact, all of these are prerequisites for obtaining runes. Little did they know that in the eyes of men, Black Scythe was merely enjoying the process of torture and killing. He was a complete and utter demon. Soon the man collapsed to the ground, his cries of agony filling the air. "Why are you doing this to me? What did I do wrong? Let me die. I really can't take it anymore. Let me commit suicide," Black Scythe thought said, "but I won't let you die so easily." Black Scythe showed no signs of stopping. At this moment, the man had given up. He really wanted to die immediately. "Black Scythe, please kill me. You still don't know why I'm doing this to you, do you? Actually, we are complete strangers now, but we have actually met before, Zhang Ziheng. You know me. Did you come here because of that woman? It has nothing to do with that woman. But you once kidnapped my brother and even threatened me to hand over all the information about Angel game. Of course, all of this was done by your future self. yourself. And the reason I came to kill you is more because if I didn't come, you would obtain the thought rune. This warehouse contains a rare rune, and its appearance is contingent upon hearing a person's truest thoughts. It must be the most genuine and sincere inner thoughts. And your desire to die is currently your most genuine and real thought. In other words, even without the mind rune, I would still kill you, because you already have more than 20 charges against you. Since I deserve to die so badly, just kill me already. I don't want to suffer anymore, but Black Scythe isn't going to kill him right away. The man doesn't understand. Because I need to do an experiment. Didn't he want the runes? Didn't he want to hear my truest thoughts? Why won't he let me speak? Black Scythe claims he has already obtained the rune, just as you are sincerely begging him to kill you. The rune reacted to your truth, therefore I have obtained. The rune has automatically activated. It can read the inner thoughts of objects within a 30-meter radius. As Black Scythe thought suggested, the man now only wanted to die. The man died from excessive blood loss. Black Scythe then used the eradication skill to erase all the bloodstains and traces around him. Black Scythe obtained the rune he wanted, so I should go see Ma Tianlu tomorrow. Black Scythe is preparing to meet with Ma Tianlu, but the younger brother looked very surprised when he saw this. Are you going on a date? Kurosaki glanced at the time. Today was just a very important meeting that would determine the future direction of the country. Looking at his younger brother's worried expression, Black Scythe comforted his younger brother, saying, "You know, I'm a player. There aren't many people in this world who can hurt me right now." It turns out the younger brother's worries weren't unfounded. Ever since players returned from the Angel game, more and more ability users have started turning to crime. The younger brother was very worried that Kurosaki would get hurt. Black Scythe remained calm upon hearing this. He had already anticipated how things would unfold. As the game ends, the remaining players will only become stronger. It will appear naturally. Superpowered individuals begin enslaving ordinary civilians. What Black Scythe wants to do is gain extraordinary fame and immense power before the world descends into panic, to possess power strong enough to make other superpowered individuals submit. Soon, Black Scythe arrived in front of Will Tower. Black Scythe knew that this building was Ma Tianlu's secret base. Currently, besides myself, only Ma Tianlu's confidants know the secret. Black Scythe had to pretend to be completely innocent. He wanted to completely deceive Ma Tianlu. He then walked towards the service counter. The president specifically instructed that you wait here. He will be there shortly. Then, feigning shyness, she thanked the waiter. Even looking around, he looked like he'd never seen the world before. All of this was a performance for Ma Tianlu, who was hiding in the sidelines. Then Xiange came to Black Scythe and expressed that she couldn't believe it, because you look like you're only in your early 20s. I never imagined you were someone who invested 280 billion. I truly admire your courage. Black Scythe understood that Ma Tianlu had sent him to test him. Black Scythe pretended to know nothing, which dispelled Xiange's concerns. He then reported to Ma Tianlu that he was just a very simple man and nothing to be afraid of. This was exactly the result Black Scythe wanted to see. The runes in Black Scythe's mind clearly knew their thoughts. At that moment, Ma Tianlu stood before Black Scythe. He also expressed his great pleasure in meeting Kurosaki. Kurosaki, on the other hand, appeared completely at a loss. Ma Tianlu apologized for keeping High Lion waiting and said he had specially commissioned a 6-star chef to prepare a large feast as an apology. They could eat and chat at the same time. Seeing this, Black Scythe showed no politeness whatsoever, devouring the food like a starving ghost reincarnated. Ma Tianlu wondered who was really supporting him. He was too young to be an investor. No matter who it is, I will do everything I can to find them. Then Ma Tianlu said, "You look very young. You look to be only around 20 years old. How did you come up with the idea of investing so much money in our company? You must be a young and successful rich kid." Kurosaki hurriedly denied it, saying, "I was still a student before. You can see from the news that I just got lucky and won the lottery." Black Scythe said it was just a news story about a student who won 15 super prizes overnight and became a billionaire. So from then on, I really believed in my luck. But Ma Tianlu still couldn't believe it, because what he saw in the news was 60 billion. So how did you manage to invest a total of 280 billion? High Lion had anticipated Ma Tianlu's question and revealed that he had also been involved in gambling, which was how he acquired such a large sum of money. It's unbelievable. If it were me, I definitely wouldn't have the courage to gamble 60 billion. And Xiange, who was standing next to him, also said, "You must be a very lucky person." Kurosaki suddenly became very serious, and this was not a result of luck. "Because I am a prophet, I can know what will happen 3 days from now." But Ma Tianlu was unwilling to believe it. The prophet's identity was simply too shocking. Faced with Ma Tianlu's doubts, High Lion said, "I have no reason to lie to you. I am able to acquire so much funding because I possess the power to see the future. Although I really want to believe you, I would like to ask you to provide some proof and predict what I will do in the future." Black Scythe refused Ma Tianlu's request, stating that he could not control the rune because it was activated passively. Ma Tianlu had expected Black Scythe's refusal. Such a powerful rune would certainly have limitations on its use. Suddenly, Ma Tianlu, who had been calm and composed, panicked. "Do you see a future in our company?" Black Scythe replied affirmatively, indicating that the future development of Heavenly Demon Company would be extremely rapid. It will become the largest company in China within 6 months, and also the guild with the most players in China. Upon hearing this, Ma Tianlu couldn't help but feel overjoyed. overjoyed, because everything he had done was to gain his father's approval. But Black Scythe's next words made Ma Tianlu's expression freeze. To achieve greater success, the company must change its current direction. Upon hearing this, Zhang immediately stood up. Are you serious? You want to change the company's business direction? I'm not just talking about changing the business direction, but also the company name needs to be changed. You're both players, so you know that casually revealing your runes will result in severe penalties. Since I've taken the risk of revealing my runes, it's not just for the sake of having a meal with you. As your business partner, I now have to be involved in the company's operations. Ma Tianlu pondered, while Zhang, standing beside him, completely disagreed with Hai Lion's decision. Upon meeting, Black Scythe said in a deep voice, if I wasn't confident, why would I invest in your company? Furthermore, you have concerns about whether I possess the future rune, right? So do you know why I moved to the room downstairs from you? And Zhang's expression changed in surprise. Did you start preparing back then? Ma Tianlu was puzzled, and Zhang explained that Hylian had moved to the apartment below his several months ago. When Ma Tianlu learned of this, he became certain that Black Scythe had begun his scheme several months earlier. This man must know where the future is headed. Seeing Ma Tianlu's expression, Hai Lion knew that Ma Tianlu had come to believe, but I need to gain his unconditional trust. That alone is not enough. Black Scythe spoke slowly. This hotel is your hidden base, and you are the eldest son of a 5-star family. You established the company only to gain your father's approval. Before Ma Tianlu could react, and Zhang shouted, who are you? This information is top secret. Ma Tianlu stared at the Black Scythe in front of him without saying a word. To be honest, I'm starting to doubt you. Because this is no secret in my family, I suspect you were sent by my brother. I can't prove you weren't sent by my brother, so I can't agree to your proposal. I'm very sorry, I can't do things I'm not sure about. Black Scythe needs Ma Tianlu's support, so he has no choice but to resort to his last resort. If you doubt my identity, then I can tell you information about the 4th round of the Angel Game. Upon hearing this, Ma Tianlu immediately stood up. You really know about Angel Game? Of course, this should allow me to prove my identity. Black Scythe left the building shortly afterward. This time they should completely believe my identity. The 4th round of the Angel's Game has finally begun. But to everyone's utter surprise, the 4th round of the game turned into a battle between players. Only players ranked in the top 521 can survive. The rules governing the ranking system remain an unsolved mystery. Just now, Su Ailin found Black Scythe. This purple crystal was my reward from the 3rd round of quests, as a token of my gratitude for your help. Black Scythe accepted it without hesitation. Black Scythe couldn't help but sigh. If he had known the value of that stone, he probably wouldn't have given it to him. At this point, Su Ailin asked Black Scythe again if he needed a protective shield, since he had changed his class to Summoner. Black Scythe refused her offer, because there was simply no one capable of standing against him at this moment. Su Ailin then bid farewell to Hylian, while Hylian's heart was already set on Huang Rong. Because only Black Scythe understood that this round of hidden missions revolved around the regional representative. Meanwhile, Huang Rong was also looking around. Without hesitation, he approached Black Scythe and asked if Black Scythe remembered the agreement from the previous round. He said that Kurosaki had promised to protect him. Black Scythe, however, said, what do you have that's worth my time now? I can keep you from being targeted by other players, but in exchange, you need to bring something of value. Black Scythe said that Su Ailin had just given him a purple gem as a thank you gift. If you have similar stones, then I can also grant you this round of protection. Upon hearing this, Huang Yangming quickly opened his backpack, indicating that he did not have any purple stones. However, with a black stone attached, can this item receive a new round of protection? Black Scythe gave an affirmative answer, and it means that anyone who attacks you will be my enemy. At that moment, the angels descended once more. With an excited expression on his face, he announced the rules of the game. The rules of this game are very simple. Players fight each other. Only players ranked in the top 521 will survive. In other words, there are no restrictions in this round. All that's required is for players to fight each other. Upon hearing this, everyone was gripped by fear. It meant that everyone around them would become their enemy. The angel, with a rather mischievous grin, indicated that it was ranked in the top 521. Only Black Scythe knows the difference between person number 521 and person ranked 521. And only Black Scythe understood that angels were nothing more than puppets being controlled. The next moment, the angel announced the start of the game. Most players are still confused. Are they already going to start killing each other? Huang Yangmin, standing to the side, wore a smug smile. He was very glad that he had found Black Scythe's protection, because based on his current abilities, he simply has no way to protect himself in this battle. The next moment, Black Scythe suddenly appeared beside Huang Yangmin, startling him. He didn't understand why Black Scythe had come to find him now. Kurosaki then spoke up. I told you I wanted to prevent you from becoming someone else's target, right? I came here to keep my promise. Then he summoned the Reaper's Scythe. The next moment, Huang Yangmin was instantly killed. At the same time, a notification sounded, activating a hidden quest. Defeat the regional agent to gain the right to draw a magic stone. You have completed this task and obtained the item magic card. Randomly draw 15 magic stones. Looking at the series of prompts, these were exactly the items I needed most. However, Hylian's act of killing Huang Yangmin also led those around him to accuse him of murder. However, a prompt silenced everyone around. Black Scythe had become the new regional representative. Those who had previously criticized Black Scythe now wished they could stay far away, fearing that Black Scythe would use his power to control them. Suddenly, everyone noticed that Black Scythe's name had turned red, but Black Scythe remained completely calm. In this kind of battle, the more people you kill, the darker the color of their names becomes. Everyone looked at the Black Scythe in front of them and finally made up their minds to join forces to kill it. Because in their eyes, Kurosaki is a murderer. Huang Yangmin, who had suddenly died, suddenly came back to life. Everyone clearly cannot understand the current situation. After a short while, everyone realized that it seemed the players who died in this round could be resurrected. Our ranking is recorded by the percentage of kills. The next moment, the once harmonious group turned into a bloody battle. Seeing this, Black Scythe no longer hesitated. A casual strike. A vacuum area was instantly formed around it. Seeing this, the group exchanged glances. Since they could be resurrected, they could attack Black Scythe without hesitation. In a short while, the number of people around had decreased by 70–80%. In just a short time, Black Scythe had slaughtered thousands. It was at this moment that a player caught Black Scythe's attention. He is a man known as the Fire Dragon Warrior, possessing the ability to absorb runes. The absorption rune increases your attributes for each enemy you kill. This game is practically tailor-made for this guy. Because of absorbing the runes, the man's attributes were greatly increased. The higher the level of the player you kill, the greater the attribute bonus you receive. The men all started fantasizing that killing Black Scythe would definitely increase their attributes by a huge amount. But the man quickly dismissed that thought, because his intuition told him he absolutely must not anger Black Scythe. The man then continued killing players without stopping. Seeing this, Black Scythe did not act immediately but stood still and watched cold. In no time at all, the man had killed nearly 100 players. All the players were plunged into despair. Just then, Black Scythe slowly approached the man, who became extremely cautious upon seeing this. Black Scythe's attack was merely a simple strike. In just a moment, the man never dreamed he would be completely crushed. Facing a massive melee involving thousands of people, William single-handedly killed thousands of people, strongly ranked first in the regional overall rankings. The fourth round of player battles began. The battle between everyone erupted in full force. Su Ailin harbored a deep-seated fear of mutual slaughter. In response to Nzaying's reassurance, Su Ailin said that she was fine. Nzaying fully understood that it would be difficult for someone with a celebrity aura to carry out a massacre mission. Suddenly, Nzaying's expression hardened. One person captured Su Ailin. The short knife slashed downwards fiercely. Nzaying quickly launched a counterattack. He then raised his longsword. The opponent has completely lost the ability to fight. Then looking at Su Ailin, Nzaying said that to survive, one must kill. Su Ailin knew he had to overcome this difficulty. After a struggle with her conscience, she gritted her teeth and killed the man in front of her. If it weren't for Ma Tianlu's orders, Nzaying would have abandoned Su Ailin without hesitation. Nzaying stated that the summoned beasts should have helped you kill more than 50 people. You can get some rest. Qi Nzaying looked down on Su Ailin. She was as fragile as a little white flower. Having always taken care of Su Ailin, I estimate my own score isn't high enough. It rushed towards the crowd at an extremely fast speed. As the Black Scythe slays the enemy before him, a countdown timer simultaneously sounds. But Black Scythe showed no signs of stopping. They even went around looking for different enemies to kill. Black Scythe clearly understood the rules for calculating the rankings. The leaderboard is based on the number of individual kills, not the total number of players killed. This is similar to a player killing another player 100 times, but the calculation only counts as one kill. Therefore, what Black Scythe needs to do is not indiscriminate slaughter, but to find people he has not killed before. Meanwhile, on the other side, Huang Yangmin was repeatedly killing players weaker than himself. Huang Yangmin counted his kills, hundreds of them, and he was sure he'd get a high ranking this time. In his calculations, he had killed more people than Black Scythe. At this moment, a dark aura surrounded Black Scythe. The scythe delivers its final blow, accompanied by a game-ending notification. For the sake of technical accuracy, layers of angelic shields surrounded everyone. Kurosaki's previous fatigue vanished instantly. The angel standing nearby said, "Now let's see your combat stats." The next moment, all the dead people were instantly resurrected. The man looked at his resurrected self. He then angrily shouted at Huang Yangmin, saying that the man had died more than 40 times in this game. Huang Yangmin also mocked the man with unusual smugness, at which point the angel who had spoken felt her authority challenged. "If you continue to make noise, I will eliminate you right now." Upon hearing this, everyone immediately fell silent. Before we look at the leaderboard, let's take a look at this round's hidden quests. Then switch windows. Time-limited kill zone representative. Everyone stared at the mission in astonishment. Was this mission really that simple? It seems Black Scythe's first kill was the area representative. Did he receive a notification? Huang Yaomin heard the crowd's discussion. Only then did I realize. The skill bar area indicates that the skill has disappeared. Recalling Kurosaki's words about avoiding him becoming a target for others, it turns out he saw me as a target. To everyone's surprise, the angel announced the ranking rules. The moment everyone learned the rules, many players were plunged into despair. The angels didn't care how desperate they were. A snap snap of the fingers. The top-ranked region is Black Scythe. The angel also had great feelings about this. Why is he always able to get first place in the game? Even the people around him looked at Black Scythe with increasing fear. The first thing Black Scythe wanted to do was to claim his mission rewards. The angel was very curious, because Black Scythe's actions seemed to indicate that he already knew his ranking. Black Scythe ignored the angel and went about choosing the reward items on his own. For Black Scythe, equipment that increases 3 types of attack speed is even more necessary. The next choice is the most important decision. Because the hidden mission in the next round of the game is quite difficult, I must be 100% prepared. Facing the reward on the window, Black Scythe chose the 50% attribute bonus without hesitation. Seeing that Kurosaki was ignoring him, he proceeded to announce everyone's rankings on his own. All people ranked below 521 must be eliminated. The next moment, the players ranked lower began to swagger. Countless cries echoed throughout the area. Huang Yangyu looked around at the crowd in a panic. He then broke into a maniacal grin because his ranking had just reached 521. The screams and wails all around were deafening. Even Black Scythe couldn't save them. He silently vowed to destroy this angel game and to save humanity's future. The next notification indicated that only 521 people remained in the area and that everyone's souls were about to return to their bodies. The scene changes. Back in reality, and Ziyang hurriedly went to Ma Tianlu's room. Ma Tianlu asked, puzzled, "I don't think I asked you to come here." And Ziyang apologized for his recklessness, as the 4th round of the game was too difficult. Although it's just a game, it's so crazy it's heart-pounding. Ma Tianlu understood that this game was extremely tiring, even for him, the Dark Knight. The question that Ma Tianlu was most concerned about was, what kind of person was Black Scythe? Even if you know the game's content in advance, you still can't catch up with Black Scythe's kill count. Such a person must not be made an enemy, Ma Tianlu thought to himself. Looks like I need to ask him about the Black Scythe. When he told me about the 4th round of the game, I couldn't believe it. But as it turned out, everything was going according to his prophecy. Please arrange another meeting with him for me. He is young, but never underestimate him because of his youth. And Ziyang understood perfectly well how important such a prophet was. The scene shifts, and Black Scythe is already waiting at the supermarket entrance. Julie was quite surprised, because even after such a fierce battle, Black Scythe's spirit remained incredibly high. Kurosaki even said he was mentally exhausted because he kept thinking about her in his dreams. Julie clearly hadn't expected Black Scythe to be so unserious. He seemed different from the boys she'd known before. He then expressed his gratitude for the game information provided by Black Scythe. Only then could I survive the 4th round unscathed. Black Scythe knew that even if she did nothing, she would survive the 4th round. The two then went to a 5-star restaurant for a meal. Julie clearly had no appetite. The scenes from the 4th round of the game kept replaying in my mind. This was her first time killing someone, and she was trembling all over. Kurosaki said it was all for survival. Julie understood everything, but she could never overcome her inner struggles. Black Scythe scolded Julie for being too gentle, asking, "Are you going to give up on yourself and cause your family pain? Do you think your father can bear the thought of you leaving?" Julie knew that if she died, her father would also lose the will to live. "Thank you, I will live a better life for the people I love and the people who love me." The two then leisurely enjoyed their afternoon tea. After a short while, Black Scythe slowly spoke. "This meeting is to tell you about the 5th round of the game." Julie was quite surprised. "You were already able to predict the information for the 5th round of the game." Black Scythe stated that round 5 would be more difficult than any of the previous rounds, and that a region merging event would occur, bringing all the split regions together. Julie was extremely excited because this meant she could finally meet Black Scythe in the game. "We'll meet again in the next round, or more precisely, in the 5th round of the next round. The next round is very difficult, so you must follow my instructions to win. In the next round of the game, you need to find a man whose game name is Black Scythe. He's my friend, and he'll help you survive the next round unscathed." Julie learns from Black Scythe that the 5th round will be extremely difficult. Even Jolie herself would have a hard time surviving the 5th round. Julie was shocked to hear the news, but Kurosaki told her not to worry. "Because in the future I foresee, my friend Kurosaki will help you." Julie looked incredulous. It's important to know that in her eyes, Black Scythe is mysterious and powerful, consistently holding the top spot on the overall rankings. Muttering to myself, would someone this powerful really need me? Black Scythe reassured Julie, saying that she possessed the power of blessing and that he would be eager to cooperate with her. Then Julie stroked Black Scythe's hand, and streams of green energy flowed into Black Scythe's palm. One's own fortune was also increased to its highest level. The scene shifts to Black Scythe returning home. "I couldn't wait to take out my magic cards. Lowest level magic cards." Everyone thought this card could only yield the lowest level of magic stones. Only Black Scythe understood that when his luck reached its peak, there was an extremely low probability of obtaining a top-tier magic stone. He then crushed the card in his hand, accompanied by a notification sound. 5 divine-grade magic stones appeared before Black Scythe's eyes. Even Kurogane had never encountered such a situation before, and he appeared quite shocked. Black Scythe muttered to himself, "Could this be my luck in my 100th reincarnation?" Then opened the crafting page and craft the divine gem into a holy gem. Even though his entire body was covered in god-level magic magic stones in his past life, he still failed. In this life, he will strengthen himself to become the strongest. Then the gems were inlaid into the equipment. All equipment has been socketed. Black Scythe was very satisfied that his strength had increased by more than 50%. The next morning, Hylian received a banquet invitation from Ma Tianlu and was already prepared. As Kurosaki prepared to leave, and Xiangsh had been waiting at the door for a long time. Soon the group arrived at the private hotel on Ma Tin Road. Ma Tianlu extended his greetings to Hylian. Let's go inside and have a proper chat. Just then, Su Ailin walked over. It turns out that Ma Tianlu wanted to use Su Ailin to win over Hylian. Even though he was a prophet, he was still a man. After everyone sat down at the table, the atmosphere became incredibly quiet. This was something Ma Tianlu never expected, and he certainly didn't expect Su Ailin to be so clueless. Su Ailin, come out with me, I have something to tell you. Su Ailin followed slowly behind Ma Tianlu. They stopped walking after a while. Su Ailin happily remarked that today's meal was delicious. But to Ma Tianlu, these words sounded incredibly ironic, and he was furious. Do you think I called you over just for dinner? I need you to liven things up, understand? Don't you have any common sense, or are you doing this on purpose? Didn't Xiangsh tell you his identity? This person is a prophet. He knows all the information about the angel game. I need your sacrifice, even if it means giving up everything to hold on to him. I must control the prophet, only then can I become the strongest. What you need to do is make him fall completely in love with you. Make him work for me, don't even think about refusing me. You'll never be able to pay off your debt in this lifetime. What you need to do now is help me win his heart. I'm really looking forward to your performance, understand? It turned out that Ma Tianlu and Su Ailin had finished their conversation. Ultimately, Su Ailin had to make Hylian fall in love with her. Just as Kurosaki finished the meal and was about to leave, Ma Tianlu gave Su Ailin a look, and Su Ailin prepared to stop the two. At that moment, Black Scythe's younger brother spoke up. I'm a fan of Ms. Su, and I would like to take a photo with Ms. Su Ailin. At this moment, Ma Tianlu picked up his phone and gave instructions to Su Ailin. However, the content of the information caused Su Ailin's expression to change. It seems the younger brother is easier to win over. Once he wins over his younger brother, Ma Tianlu believes that Black Scythe will also be at his disposal. To help Su Ailin defeat Black Scythe more quickly, they led everyone to the hotel's most luxurious room. They also stated that guests could sing and play games freely in the private rooms, and that all drinks and fruits were free. He even indicated that any other special requests could be made by Xiangsh. Kurosaki expressed his gratitude and then said he did have a request. My younger brother is a fan of Su Ailin, and I hope to go out and take a photo with him. The two walked outside shortly afterward. Watching the two figures leave, Black Scythe finally spoke. Are you treating me like an idiot? Ma Tianlu's face instantly became uncomfortable. Had his little trick been discovered? Don't try to be clever in front of me. Don't forget I'm a prophet. Don't set your sights on my brother, and don't hide anything from me. Ma Tianlu's expression was very complicated. He had absolutely no secrets from him now. He hurriedly explained to Black Scythe that he only wanted to get his help. I can help you, but I absolutely will not allow anything like what happened today to happen again. I shouldn't have done that, and it will never happen again. Next, I will discuss information about the 5th round of the game with you. Ma Tianlu knew that information about the angel game was top secret. He then instructed Xiangsh to lead the others to a room to the side. I will tell you all the future game information, but in exchange, you need to completely trust me in the company's decision-making. I will help the company become the world's top player guild in the shortest possible time. It might even make you the world's best player, but only if you obey all company decisions. Ma Tianlu naturally wouldn't refuse such a condition, because it would have absolutely no disadvantages for him. But what Black Scythe said next terrified him. Without his help, he would die in the 5th round. The 5th round is the most difficult ever, but as long as you follow your own plan with the Dark Knight, survival won't be difficult. The angel's task is to kill 300 orcs, with the most important part being the merging of regions in the 5th round. Upon hearing this, Ma Tianlu showed a delighted expression, which meant he would be able to see the Black Scythe. Black Scythe shook his head at this, saying, although it's called a regional merger, you haven't merged with Black Scythe. Ma Tianlu seemed somewhat disappointed, and then asked if he knew who the Black Scythe was. I don't know who the Black Scythe is, but the prophecy says you will meet soon. Suddenly, Kurosai's style shifts. Are you investigating a man? Ma Tianlu was shocked that they even knew about his investigation into Huang Yangmen, because he once tried to murder Xiangsh and Su Ailin. I am currently investigating. Hylian told Ma Tianlu not to investigate further, and Ma Tianlu looked puzzled. Kurosaki didn't explain why, only saying that if he continued to investigate, he would suffer. Ma Tianlu pondered for a moment, because Hylian's words always inspired his unconditional trust. There's a reason Black Scythe saved Huang Yangmen. He'll be extremely useful in later rounds. The two talked for several hours, and learned that the 5th round was extremely difficult. I need to restore my dark magic as soon as possible. The scene shifts to a man fleeing for his life in the rainy night. Ma Tianlu behind him stared intently at him. The man looked at Ma Tianlu with pleading eyes. He had already paid the price for his mistakes, so why was he still holding on to this grudge? Ma Tianlu's expression remained unchanged as he raised the Dark Knight's longsword. Then dark magical energy swirled around him. Even the sword in his hand seemed to shine a little brighter. It turns out that Ma Tianlu needs to kill criminals regularly in order to replenish his dark magic power. Their sins are the best source of dark magic. Meanwhile, Kurosaki was staring intently at his phone. Numerous news reports have stated that the world has been changed since the arrival of players. It turns out that the Angel game caused a sharp decrease in the world's population. The society experienced tremendous upheaval. Players who gain power commit indiscriminate crimes. They even formed an anti-state alliance online. The first thing Black Scythe did was to enter the League's interview process. Only in this way can I obtain brand new runes. Just then, a fat man pushed open the interview door. I subconsciously looked around. This must be the interview location. Seeing this, the man stood up and asked, "Are you here for the player interview too?" After receiving an affirmative answer from the fat man, "What will your name be in the game?" The fat man introduced himself as Black Fire Dragon, and the interviewer said that the little turkey was also there for the interview. This person looks frail and thin. Is he also a player? The fat man desperately wanted to kill the two men immediately so that his abilities could be enhanced. It turns out the man's runes are absorption runes. Killing a certain number of enemies will grant random attributes. This is why he desperately killed players in the 4th round. Therefore, the first thing a man does upon returning to reality: kill all the students in the class. However, their levels did not meet their requirements, and the attribute increases were negligible. After further investigation, it was discovered that the players had formed an alliance. If you hunt players within the alliance, your power will grow stronger and stronger. Are we the only two participating in the interview? Can we begin? The man indicated that one player had not yet arrived. A moment later, a man in a black suit appeared before them. "Are you also here for a player interview? What is your username?" The next moment, the man revealed a fanatical and excited expression. "So you are the Black Scythe." He obsequiously suggested they sit down, explaining that these two were also there for an interview. At this moment, the fat man was restless. Was he the Black Scythe? The man who killed me 5 times in the 4th round. The man's arrogant attitude made me the Black Scythe. "Hello, I'm Little Turkey. I'm so glad we could go to the interview together." The chubby boy trembled. He whispered, "I am the Black Fire Dragon," wishing he could bury his head in the ground. But the fat man discovered that the Black Scythe didn't react at all, as if it didn't recognize him at all. "Having killed me 5 times, am I not worthy of his attention? I'm not that arrogant, I'm just pretending to be another player. But this guy is a real scammer. His real username is Alio, and he creates various scams to make money. He is weak now, but in the future he obtains the cloning rune and uses it to commit various crimes. This time he met her as planned, and he will take the clone rune that originally belonged to him. Now that everyone is here, I need your detailed information. My name is Jin Shanxian. I'm 20 years old and just graduated from school. I don't have a job yet. You're a level 13 assassin, right? Everything Black Scythe said is true. Of course, besides my own Little Turkey username. The Little Turkey is someone else, and I am pretending to be someone else. This is because the requirement for cloning runes is to conceal one's identity and commit murder from where the runes are hidden. In other words, this guy impersonated me, committed murder, and obtained the clone rune. After registering everyone's information, there is one last part that you need to complete yourself." The man grinned menacingly. "You only need to kill one person to get it." Black Scythe feigned confusion, asking why he was doing this. "You've all seen the news. The country is starting to fear us, afraid of our power. We players will soon be able to dominate this world. We must show them with facts that players are the masters, and that players are above the laws of the country. Now you all understand, right? That's the reason. Of course, you can choose to leave now, but those who leave will not receive any assistance from us in the future." Black Scythe knew perfectly well that their only goal was to bind everyone together. Players who commit crimes cannot easily leave the alliance. Since no one has left, I will begin the final part of the interview. The man pretended to leave. The shop owner was called over, and they were hoping he could help drive the car from the parking lot to the entrance. When the car drove up to the door, the man gripped the woman tightly. The woman fainted shortly afterward. The man led the group to a warehouse, the final location for the interviews. Throw the woman on the ground. "Who wants to start?" "Black Scythe, your name is the most renowned in all areas. Would you like to begin?" "Can I go first?" Looking in the direction of the sound, the man was very surprised. "Little Turkey, do you want to be the first to complete the task?" "I thought you'd be scared, but I didn't expect you to want to be the first one." Black Scythe slowly walked past the man and whispered, "I'll take the clone rune." The man didn't understand what Black Scythe meant. He just felt something was off. However, the next moment, Black Scythe had already grabbed his head with both hands. His neck twisted several times in an instant, and the sound of bones cracking rang out. This action startled the interviewer beside him. The man couldn't believe it in his wildest dreams. "Why did you kill Black Scythe?" Black Scythe's expression instantly turned terrifying, indicating that he was being very noisy. The man stood there stunned. The aura emanating from the Little Turkey was completely different. At this moment, the void recalls that you impersonated someone and committed murder. Activation conditions met. A hidden rune, the clone rune, has been discovered at the current location. The clone rune has automatically merged into the player's body. The interviewer kept asking why he killed the Black Scythe. Black Scythe picked up the mask from his pocket. "Why you ask?" he asked. "Because he impersonated me without permission." "What do you mean by impersonating you?" Black Scythe Scythe didn't speak but slowly walked up to the woman. Pick up the bag next to you. He couldn't let the woman who had woken up see what he was doing. What do you want to do? You haven't answered my question yet. The next moment he switched to a longsword. The oppressive aura emanating from the Black Scythe was terrifying. Black Scythe pointed downwards and softly called out, "Come." The red scythe of death instantly appeared in the Black Scythe's hand. What's with this sickle? The aura it exudes is suffocating. The man has never seen anything like it before. Some players use a giant scythe as their main weapon. Suddenly the man seemed to remember something and screamed in panic. A black, ominous scythe. Recalling what was said earlier about the man impersonating him, the man looked at the Black Scythe in front of him and no longer had any intention of resisting. "You are the Black Scythe, you were never a little turkey. You are the true Black Scythe." The man's voice was filled with terror. He kowtowed repeatedly, trembling, hoping for mercy. However, before the man could finish speaking, he felt his body become lightheaded. Black Scythe will not let this man go. Letting him go will only lead to more innocent people being killed in the future. The enormous scythe in the same weapon as the fourth round, that is the true Black Scythe. His aura was chilling. I had no chance against him. I couldn't even see the way he swung the sickle. Now it's just the two of us left. Little fatty, you should know what I want to do. I won't beg you to let me go, but I want to ask if we've ever met before. Are you asking me why I killed you 5 times in a row in the 4th round? Yes, I don't understand why you're hunting me down. The reason is simple. In the 4th round, you were the most skilled player among everyone. I will eliminate any players who pose any threat to me. I pose no threat to you now, so why do you still want to kill me? Because you are also a murderer, and you came here wanting to participate in the murder of this woman. I haven't done anything yet, I'm just an observer. As a bystander, I have not committed any crime. Upon hearing this, Black Scythe said, then I'll give you a chance to live. As a condition for your survival, hand over all your equipment and items. The next moment, all sorts of props and gems appeared in front of them. After a closer inspection, Black Scythe estimated value of these items to be around 2,000 gold coins. This is all my belongings, and I'm willing to give it all to you. Only gemstones have a slight effect on me. I'll keep the gems, but I'll return the rest to you. According to our agreement, you can spare my life. Of course, I won't attack you first. The chubby boy kept bowing, thankful that he had survived. The next step is to clean up the scene. The chubby boy wanted to help, but Black Scythe didn't want him to do anything. Watching the departing Black Scythe, I guess I've been given a second chance at life. But then the fat man thought, I didn't do anything. Why are they treating me like a bad guy? Why did I give away the item I finally got? Kurosaki was completely unprepared with his back to me. I could kill him in an instant. If I kill the Black Scythe, my attributes will definitely increase significantly. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The long axe appeared in the man's hand in the next instant. He bent down and tiptoed forward, silently wishing he could get a little closer. Just a little closer. Suddenly, the axe slammed down towards the back of Black Scythe's head. This blow struck Black Scythe squarely. I killed the Black Scythe, I did it. Then a maniacal smile appeared on his face, and the Black Scythe died in my hands. What's the use of having such a high-level Black Scythe? You're just an idiot. He'll still die by my hand, won't he? Why haven't I received any notification about attribute boosts? Unless the Black Scythe is not dead. Black Scythe's voice slowly rang out, asking why you hadn't received a notification about attribute boosts. The man hurriedly looked back, his face contorted with uncontrollable fear. Black Scythe stood unharmed behind him. I clearly hit you, so why did you come back to life? The man stared in shock at the Black Scythe-covered corpse before him. The corpse lying on the ground was emitting a blue light and was dissipating. You hit my clone. The clone rune created an exact copy of me. The clone rune can completely copy itself for 10 seconds. Although the clone rune has no combat power. However, clones still have significant uses in specific situations. Now you understand what happened, right? The next instant, an extremely fast attack pierced through the man's body. The body was then completely burned, leaving no trace. It has been cleaned up very well now. How long are you going to pretend to be asleep? You can't fool me. I'm a player with mind-reading abilities. The woman stated that she saw nothing and knew nothing. Do you remember what we look like? A woman has only ever seen the face of a man around 40 years old. No one else remembers what it looked like. Black Scythe, who possessed runes, knew this woman was not lying. I'm leaving here. You have 60 seconds left before you take off your hood. After the countdown ended, the woman hurriedly took off her hood. This is just a dilapidated warehouse, so what happened? After a busy day, Black Scythe returned to his room and finally obtained the clone rune. Judging by the time, the 5th round of the Angel game should have started by now. The moment the phone reached 12 o'clock, the group was teleported back into the 5th round of the game. Is the 5th round finally about to begin? This round is very important. There were still more than 500 people left after the last round, and the number is getting smaller and smaller. At that very moment, angels descended from the heavens. We meet again. Congratulations on advancing to the 5th round. There were over 500 people left in the last round. Why are there only over 400 now? It seems you're also fighting each each other in the real world. There are 443 players remaining in this round. There are too few players, it's impossible to have a pleasant gaming experience. But I have a surprise for you this round, so please enjoy. Not everything with white wings is an angel. They may also be agents of the devil. Faced with the angel's charming smile, William attacked without saying a word, even tearing off the wings of angels. The angel's heart was dug out. All of this is in order to change jobs and become a profession. Death agent. This is the fastest way to become stronger. Black Scythe, who became the Grim Reaper's agent, topped the regional rankings 4 times and arrived at the angel game for the 5th time. As the angel's voice slowly spoke, the 5th round of the angel game would merge the entire region. The surrounding players looked puzzled. What did they mean by merging all areas? Upon hearing this, the angel spoke with a disdainful tone, just as the words implied. If we merge players from other regions with yours, then counting only your country's region, there are 985 players. Our country alone has that many, but if you include other countries, the number is unimaginable. You don't need to be so shocked. Your country has far fewer regions compared to other countries. From this perspective, each area has an angel, meaning this game is accomplished by the combined efforts of millions of angels. The angel simply smiled in response to this question. What do you think? I don't believe that millions of angels would team up to create a survival game. The words had barely left my mouth when the angel appeared before the man in an instant. This is not a question you should be asking. Trying to explore this question will get you killed. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked such a stupid question. You lowly humans, all you need to do is complete the tasks according to the game. Black Scythe watched silently from afar, understanding that the creator could not be mentioned in the angelic code. Even the seemingly powerful and holy angels are nothing more than ants in the eyes of the creator. At this moment, the angel spoke calmly. The region is beginning to integrate. The ground began to shake violently, emitting streaks of golden light. Countless regions began to integrate and be pieced together. The wall of light, which had been blocked by the radiance, began to fade slowly. As the light faded, figures appeared before the crowd. Are they players from other regions? An angelic voice announced that regional integration was complete. Their expressions are like those of clowns. Everyone was already mentally prepared. However, the sight of dozens of angels still deeply moved them. Before everyone could recover from their shock, we merged the regions because the number of people in each region had decreased. Every 10 regions will be merged into one region. The area now has a population of approximately 5,000. The merged area will now be named Area 7. Only Black Scythe understands that regional merging is the true battle that begins for the strongest in Angel game. Each time, only the top 500 players from each region will remain. If the number drops below 500, the region will be merged again. Soon, the strongest people in the entire country will be less than 500. When that time really comes, we will be fighting against players from other countries. We will hold a small celebration for the region merger before the announcement of the 5th round of major tasks. Originally, there were 10 merged regions, each with a regional representative, but now the regions have been merged. We need to elect a new regional representative. Of course, the rules we set are very simple. 10 regional representatives fight together, and the remaining person becomes the new regional representative. Upon hearing this, the regional representatives turned ashen-faced. The regional representatives were a complete hot potato. However, only Black Scythe understood that before the 5th round, the regional representatives had no function. But from this round onwards, their significance changed. Don't worry, everyone. You will be reborn after the game ends and will not die in reality. And starting from this round, regional representatives will be granted the status of rulers. Of course, a ruler can forcibly control those of lower rank than himself. Regardless of the other party's profession, as long as their level is lower than yours, you can control them. Of course, the number of times you can control this is limited to 10. You can make the player do anything for you, even become your plaything. Most players grinned wickedly upon hearing this. What a wonderful right. It looks like you're all ready. The game is about to begin. Now that the region has been integrated, we also need to choose one regional representative from among our 10 angels. Being a regional representative is not a good job for us. We believe none of us would want to be a regional representative. Since nobody wants to be a regional representative, let's choose an interesting way to decide. Since the players need to start the battle and decide who will represent their area, let them represent us. All the angels raised their hands in agreement with this decision. At that very moment, the angels of the Black Scythe region raised a suggestion. The last surviving human representatives, the angels in the same region, will become queens, possessing the power to dominate angels in other regions. Another angel asked, puzzled, does that mean the queen can control the other angels? For a moment, the angels unanimously agreed that this was a very interesting bet. The angel in the Dupra area says you are very confident in representing your area. Our regional representative is very strong. He's consistently ranked number 1 in his region. Is that so? The angel in the Black Scythe area revealed a meaningful smile. Since you're so confident, why don't you join my proposal? Upon hearing this, all the surrounding angels wanted to participate. It was quite an interesting bet. Subsequently, all regional representatives were summoned. Now it's your turn to fight. Dance on the stage. The ground began to shake violently, emitting a blinding light. When the group came to their center, senses, they found themselves in the dueling arena. Everyone panicked for a moment. Don't panic, this is the dueling arena I've prepared for you. If you die outside the dueling arena, then you will truly die. Upon hearing this, everyone looked around warily. And summon your weapons, not only to defend against the enemies in front of you. Also be wary of attacks from behind. The man in front of him was looking around. Being able to become a regional representative demonstrates that they all possess excellent combat capabilities. But I believe there is no one stronger than me. What I possess is Dispel Rune. If my attack hits the rune, it will automatically disintegrate the opponent. Thanks to this rune, I was able to become number 1 in my region 4 times. The man began to act, determined to show everyone around him his strength. This will make people afraid of him, and they won't dare to see him as prey. The man then looked very smug, even saying that he would accept the position of regional representative. Upon hearing this, Black Scythe slowly walked forward. Black Scythe didn't have time to play house with them. Their level was less than 20. At this moment, the man happily thought that finally someone had taken the lead and established his authority. But it was also the first time the man had ever seen someone use a sickle as their primary weapon. With such a small frame, can you get used to such a large sickle? But when the man saw the name of the Black Scythe, his face began to show fear. You're the Black Scythe. His body began to tremble uncontrollably. He was the Black Scythe. He's a man who's topped the overall regional rankings 4 times, and his level is over 30. The man knew perfectly well that he had no chance of winning against the Black Scythe. At this moment, even the angels outside the arena noticed something was wrong. Why had this man suddenly put down his weapon? An angel asked, Deprow, is this your region's representative? At this moment, Deprow was also very puzzled. What was this foolish human doing? Why are you standing there trembling? The angel in the Black Scythe area couldn't help but chuckle softly. Do you find this funny? Deprow asked, annoyed. I already knew the outcome of the battle, but I didn't expect it to be so interesting. Do you know why he did that? Because he saw my regional representative, Deprow, looking down. Is the man with the sickle your regional representative? But I don't think my regional representative is afraid. The angel in the Black Scythe area spoke slowly. Do you know what he's afraid of? Deprow didn't know what he was afraid of, but he was a man who had won first place in his area 4 times. Your regional representative only achieved first place in their own region, while my representative achieved first place across all regions. Only then did the angel turn its attention to the Black Scythe. This man has a Black Scythe. I always see him at the top of the leaderboard. Deprow clearly understands the difference between being number 1 in the region and being number 1 in the overall region. Then Black Scythe simply ended the man's life. This man had completely lost his will to fight and had no intention of even making a move. At this moment, representatives from other areas also noticed the situation and shouted in panic. I'm only level 13, how could I possibly win? Every step Black Scythe took made the man feel suffocated, as if death was approaching. We have no intention of becoming your enemy, the man explained earnestly. I have no intention of taking action. I put away all my weapons. We surrender, we all surrender. This was the first time the angel had encountered such a situation. Dozens of regional agents had all surrendered. The angels do not wish to suffer such a humiliating defeat. If you wish to surrender, we will erase your existence. At this moment, everyone was plunged into despair. No matter what they did, it was a decision that would lead to certain death. We can be reborn even if we die at the hands of the Black Scythe, but I don't want to be wiped out by the angels. Upon hearing this, everyone forced themselves to face the Black Scythe. Even if they failed, at least they would still be alive. You made the right decision, but even united, you're just a bunch of ants. Facing the oncoming crowd, Black Scythe calmly drew his dark scythe, and a scorching aura slowly enveloped the entire blade. The next moment, Black Scythe's figure had vanished from the spot. He reappeared, and Black Scythe was already standing before everyone. They didn't even have time to draw their weapons. The Black Scythe slash has ended. A commotion erupted. What happened? We were completely unharmed. However, the next moment everyone felt their consciousness disappear and collapsed in a daze. The angel's expression was one of disbelief. He was so shocked he couldn't speak. We knew the battle would end quickly, but we never expected the Black Scythe to end it in such a brutal way. According to our rules, the Black Scythe is now the newest representative of the region, and the angel of the same region is the queen. Deprow, unwilling to accept defeat, questioned, you knew all along that you would win the game. I only brought this up because I was confident. Deprow was unwilling to accept this. She had originally thought that becoming queen was a foregone conclusion. I never expected that I would actually lose. Now that the game is over, we should abide by the rules. Moreover, we are angels, and we shouldn't appear foolish in front of humans. The angels then announced the results of the match. The Black Scythe will become the sole symbol of this area. The Dominator gains a temporary skill that allows them to command players to do anything, but this skill is ineffective against players of a higher level. As expected, Black Scythe became the regional representative. The other regional representatives who died next should also be reborn. Deprow, unwilling to accept this, declared that the regional representative would henceforth be the Black Scythe. The 5th round of the game will begin next. In the 5th round of the mission, we increase the difficulty. Kill 300 orcs within 10 hours. In most people's minds, orcs are not particularly powerful monsters. However, the angel said that this time they would make it a little more difficult. The players began to whisper amongst themselves, thinking the orcs could accomplish this with ease. Dupraz didn't bother to explain further, simply saying, "You'll understand soon enough." Another player started asking why the reward for the subquest of collecting balance stones was unknown. The rewards for these subtasks are hidden. They will only be revealed when someone successfully completes the task. But the black scythe beside him clearly remembered. The reward for this round of subquests is a balance rune. Furthermore, the subquests in this level will be more difficult than the main quests. Even if the subtasks are completed, it is still difficult to meet the rules for obtaining the balance rune. Furthermore, the angel revealed that there are only 4 balancing stones in the entire area. This means that only one person in the area can complete this task. Even if subtasks are performed, it's not guaranteed that all 4 will be obtained by the same person. Of course, you can take his balance stone by killing the player, and then it's time for the official game. Next, those who die will not be able to be resurrected, and then the angel will disappear into the sky. The first thing Black Scythe needs to do is to complete the task of killing 300 orcs. The players behind decided to follow Black Scythe because the angel had said the difficulty of this mission had increased. He's just become a regional agent. Do you want to become his slave? We all know how powerful the Black Scythe is. It can complete tasks quickly. We can learn from his experience, which can reduce many dangers. The scene shifts and everyone follows Black Scythe. This is a village of orcs. The orcs had obviously also spotted the Black Scythe, attacking the Black Scythe. In a mere instant, the orc was slain. There aren't too many orcs in this village, Black Scythe muttered to himself. A rough estimate suggests there are around 50 or 60 of them. Upon seeing the stranger appear before him, the orc quickly stood up. The giant stone axe swung down towards the Black Scythe. It was only a fleeting moment. 3 orcs have been killed. Black Scythe then began indiscriminate slaughter in the village. They searched every single orc dwelling, watching Black Scythe easily defeat all the orcs. The orcs look weak. We should be able to complete the mission easily. After finishing their conversation, the group prepared to search for the orc village to complete their mission. Before long, they discovered a large village. As the group was discussing how this village was about 3 times larger than the one Black Scythe had just visited, the orcs also spotted the players. A great horn sounded. The orcs in the village launched a rapid attack. They quickly surrounded all the players. These orcs seem dangerous, and their numbers are ridiculously large. Don't panic, they probably just have a slightly larger number of people. Looking at the approaching orcs, they charged forward without hesitation. They must be very weak. The sound of weapons clashing rang out. As expected, the orcs' attack rhythm was very sluggish. The crowd's eyes gradually brightened with excitement, and their movements became slow. He then stabbed the orc without hesitation. The man's face lit up with delight. Defeating the orc was easy. But the next moment, the man's face showed fear. Why couldn't the weapon crawl out of the orc's body? Before the man could react, a fierce attack came. Other players in the vicinity also noticed this situation. Screams filled the tribe. At that moment, the speeding Black Scythe whispered, "Those who are following me are gone." With 20 or 30 players following him, it would be difficult for Black Scythe not to spot him. As long as they act like themselves, attacking small to medium-sized villages will not pose a danger. Large villages with horns are dangerous. Such large villages typically house around 300 orcs. The 5th round of orcs had a different design than the previous ones. Therefore, try to kill the orcs by targeting their necks to complete the mission faster, and it reduces a lot of unnecessary trouble. With the final blow of the Black Scythe, the mission to subdue 300 orcs was complete. The task was completed in just 1 hour. With nearly 5,000 players participating, Black Scythe was still the first player to complete the task. Now that the main quest has been completed, next I should go and help her. A small group of passersby were hunting orcs not far away. They kept complaining that this orc was stronger than any they had encountered before. The squad fought with all their might, but only managed to kill 50 people in an hour. The captain fell into deep thought. At this rate, we couldn't complete the mission. We will definitely complete the mission, because if we don't, we will die. Although I'd like to proceed cautiously, we must find a larger orcish tribe. We start to struggle when facing more than 3 orcs at the same time. Should we continue with the small-scale gradual conquest of the tribes first? Your opinions are correct, but at this rate we will definitely fail. We had no choice but to risk trying to conquer a larger tribe. The teammates then led everyone to the location of the large tribe. This tribe was discovered by chance because it had outposts, so we left that place. We need to sneak in. The team members sensed something strange about the tribe. Why is such a large tribe completely empty? Perhaps they are all in their own orc huts. The captain hesitated for a moment, thinking if each hut has 5 orcs, so we can probably finish a small house in about 5 minutes. Soon everyone arrived at the door of the hut, waiting for instructions to enter together. Look at your teammates pushing the door open with all their might. Suddenly everyone entered the small house, but what they saw made the team members panic. There were 9 orcs in this small hut. At this moment, all the orcs were also staring intently at the squad. They couldn't fight 9 orcs at once, and leaving the hut would wake up even more orcs. They had no choice but to grit their teeth and attack the orcs. The giant axe swept in with a dull thud. The team members quickly parried. The captain seized the opportunity and reached the orc's abdomen. However, the captain did not attack the abdomen but instead chose the the orc's ankle. The orc lost the strength to stand, and at that moment his third teammate arrived. Easily killed an orc in the blink of an eye before everyone could even rejoice. This action thoroughly enraged the orc beside him. This orc's aura was noticeably stronger than before. His aura was so oppressive it was suffocating before his teammates could even react. The orc had already bombarded his teammates. The captain reacted swiftly, seizing the opportunity to stab the orc in the neck. The orcs were enraged to see their comrades killed by mere human ants. They already had a numerical advantage, and now their teammates are injured. We should retreat, we can't fight so many orcs at once. Without the slightest hesitation, everyone quickly fled. Seeing this, the orcs gave chase, clearly not wanting to let them go. But the team members who were fleeing at the forefront stopped, their faces showing deep despair. Dozens of orcs were already surrounding them outside the door. Are we really going to die here this time? Fear filled everyone's faces. There were nearly 20 orcs in total, and everyone was about to give up the idea of resisting. Just then, the captain suddenly spoke up, and the battle began. Captain, we don't need to fight. There are so many orcs. We have absolutely no chance of winning. I know we can't win, but look at the orcs around us. Their faces were full of mockery. Why hadn't they made a move against us yet? It's because they treat us like playthings. We can die in battle, but we cannot be toyed with like rats. We would rather die than be treated as toys by these orcs. At least we won't die in humiliation. We must act like warriors. Hearing this, the crowd mustered their courage to resist, picked up their weapons, and prepared to fight to the death. Just then, the orcs seemed to sense some signal. The orcs who were originally surrounding the crowd, they all ran back. The crowd didn't understand why the orcs had left. What exactly happened? A low growl brought everyone back to their senses. Now only 7 orcs remained from the hut. We still have a chance to survive, guys, let's fight to the death. Led by the man, they charged towards the orcs. After a fierce battle, although everyone was injured to varying degrees, we survived. Captain, without you, we would all be dead here. This is not my achievement alone, but the success of everyone's efforts. Although I'm in a lot of pain right now, I'm still very curious about where the orc went. I'm going out to check the situation. You guys stay here and protect him. They then walked in the direction the orcs had left, looking around. Why haven't we seen any orcs? But the moment the man turned his head, an expression of disbelief appeared on his face. Countless orc corpses lay on the ground. What exactly happened? A rough count reveals over 100 orc corpses. Suddenly, a figure appeared at the end of the corpses. It was a Black Scythe. Black Scythe turned his head and was surprised to find that there were other people in this tribe. Black Scythe looked at the man in front of him. The man's name was Zhao Yonghao. Is this the mercenary king from my past life? Mercenaries are a very special profession. Like warriors, they are melee fighters. He charged into battle on the front lines just like a soldier, but there was one thing that distinguished him from the soldiers. They must sign mercenary contracts with others to gain greater power. By signing a contract with the king of mercenaries, the power gain can be maximized. At this moment, Black Scythe looked at the man in front of him, who was none other than Zhao Yonghao, the mercenary king from his previous life. The man forced a smile. Hello, Black Scythe. Hai Lion asked in surprise, do you know me? Zhao Yonghao replied, everyone knows the person ranked number 1. The man was actually quite excited, wondering if he could shake hands with him and whether it would upset the man with the Black Scythe. Black Scythe, possessing runes that illuminate the mind, completely understood the other party's thoughts. The man didn't seem like the type to betray his teammates. Perhaps that's why he became the king of mercenaries in his past life. Then, unable to contain himself, he blurted out, you killed all the orcs here by yourself. Receiving a positive reply from Kurosaki still shocked him, even though he already knew the answer. Thank you for saving me, but the Black Scythe says he didn't even know you were there. Although you didn't intentionally save me, the fact is that we survived because of you, and I will remember your life-saving kindness. Do as you please, I've wiped out all the orcs in this tribe. You don't need to worry. Why did I say you guys? How did you know I came with the team? Black Scythe gestured for him to look back, and Zhao Yonghao hurriedly said, didn't I tell you to wait while I scouted around first? We can't let you do such a dangerous thing alone. Upon hearing this, the man's face showed a look of gratitude. This must be the mercenary who signed the contract with Zhao Yonghao. He is a team player and a trustworthy leader. As the group approached, they realized it was actually a Black Scythe. Don't worry too much, I'm just here to have some fun. It's best to leave here as soon as possible. All the orcs are dead and the leader will appear soon. It will be very dangerous for you to stay. Yes, Lord Black Scythe, we all admire you greatly. The man thanked him again and prepared to leave. Did you hear anything? What's that sound? A chilling growl. Black Scythe spoke sternly. Get out of here, the leader has appeared. Is this the leader of the orcs? A red moon suddenly appeared. In the dark crimson light, a howling orc appeared before them. Is this really a half-orc? It sends chills down my spine. The mere screech was deafening. The orc leader still appeared. You can obtain the balance stone by killing this guy. Once I kill this guy and the other 3 tribal chiefs, I can complete this quest and obtain the balance rune. At this moment, the leader's pace began to slow down more and more, eager to tear apart the human invaders. This guy looked really angry, and for the first time, Zhao Yonghao felt a deep-seated fear up close. My legs and feet had lost all feeling. My body was completely dominated by fear. The leader roared again, and she raised her weapon and fiercely attacked the man. Seeing the attack imbued with the aura of death, Zhao Yonghao roared repeatedly, move faster. With just a simple strike, the entire land shattered. At the last moment, I finally overcame my fear and managed to move. Is this really a leader we can stand against? Will we die here? Black Scythe didn't care what he was thinking and threw him out in an instant. Are you spacing out? Leave the rest to me. You'll be in great danger if you leave the very center of the battlefield. We understand. The man understood that they would only be a hindrance to the Black Scythe here. Watching the orc chieftain walk towards them step by step, without the slightest hesitation, Black Scythe cleaved through the night sky with his scythe. This time the target was not the neck but the leader's ankle. In just a moment, hundreds of blows landed on his ankle. The leader could not tolerate being treated like this by a mere human ant. The hunting blade in his hand struck down with lightning speed, but Black Scythe simply jumped back to dodge. Although you are very big, you are more agile than I expected. Even if you get hit once, it will be very difficult for you. But no matter how high the damage is, it's meaningless if you can't hit me. The Black Scythe kept dodging. The figure blurred in the next instant and disappeared from the spot. Black Scythe's figure reappeared, now positioned to the side of the leader. The Grim Reaper's scythe, glowing with a deep crimson light, pierced through the leader's arm. The orc chieftain barely managed to parry, using his longsword to block most of the damage. Otherwise, his entire arm would have been severed. The moment the Black Scythe landed after its failed attack, it charged up again. He attacked from behind again with his backhand. No matter how strong the leader is, Black Scythe's skills become even more refined in actual combat. A gruesome bloodstain appeared on the shoulder of the orc chieftain. This thoroughly enraged the orc leader, who wanted to kill him the moment the Black Scythe landed. However, Black Scythe was exceptionally agile, disappearing from its spot the instant it landed. They kept dodging, giving the leader absolutely no chance. At this point, Black Scythe realized that this couldn't continue. Neither of his two attacks had inflicted any real damage. Just as the orc leader was about to strike Black Scythe again, Black Scythe seized the opportunity and charged out. The Lotus of Death suddenly aimed at the orc chieftain's neck. After two attacks on the orc's shoulder, the orc's weapon's swing speed has slowed down. The scythe in his hand began to gather power, and Black Scythe stepped on the orc for leverage. Black Scythe let out a low growl, Death God's Dance. It felt as if a million scythes were slicing at the orc's neck, spinning endlessly, streaks of crimson light flashing. With a crisp sound, the orc's neck slowly fell. The orc chieftain's body also collapsed to the ground. Bathed in the crimson moonlight, the Black Scythe resembled the Grim Reaper in the night sky. A series of crisp beeping sounds rang out, indicating the orc warrior had been defeated. Experience increased, obtained the ringed sword, obtained the orc heart. As expected, the leader's rewards were exceptionally generous. Opening the backpack. Epic ring-headed sword increases attack speed by 5% with each hit, stacking up to 10 times. Most people would throw away an orc's heart because it's so disgusting. Most people would think it's just an ordinary heart, but Black Scythe knows its hidden function, because it can be used as a material to strengthen the Death Lotus. Zhao Yonghao's team ran towards Black Scythe to thank him for killing the leader. He was my target all along, Kurosaki said, and then prepared to leave. Even if the Black Scythe was unintentional, the fact remains that it saved us. Everyone vowed to become as powerful as the Black Scythe, but their teammates behind them looked panicked. The teammate, who was already seriously injured, could no longer hold on and collapsed. Zhao Yonghao was shocked. Why is this happening? You seemed to be in great shape before. To avoid worrying everyone, I had to pretend, but now I feel like I can't hold on any longer. We need to persevere. You'll get better as long as you keep going until the game ends. You don't need to comfort me. Even if I wait until the game ends, I still won't be able to complete the mission requirements. I believe there must be a way, and we will definitely help you complete it. Noisy sounds behind me. This caught the attention of Black Scythe. Black Scythe was surprised that the ruthless and cold-blooded mercenary king from his previous life would have such a vulnerable side. Their relationship was better than they had imagined. Kurosaki recalled the life he and his younger brother lived together, relying on each other for survival. William could understand their feelings. You look like you need help. He suffered a fatal wound in the previous battle. Is there any way to save him? His injuries are indeed very serious, but I can heal him. Awaken healing. Pure energy begins to repair the man's body. The man recovered completely in no time. Everyone was incredulous and couldn't help but ask how he had done it. This is just a basic healing spell which anyone can buy in the shop. I think I've seen this skill before. It costs 20,000 gold coins to buy, but I never expected it to be so amazing. Have they misunderstood something? Regular healing spells aren't that powerful. They can only repair minor injuries. Healing spells belong to the category of blessings and divine abilities. He was able to achieve this effect only because he possessed the Radiant Rune. The man shouted excitedly that his injuries had miraculously healed. Although the healing spell has cured you, your arm is now like a newborn. Try to avoid using your arms excessively, although it's perfectly fine to kill orcs normally. Everyone was extremely grateful to Black Scythe, who had saved them 3 times in just 1 hour. Please feel free to let me know if you need our help in the future. And he took out his own props to thank the Black Scythe. Seeing this, everyone took out their most treasured possessions. Black Scythe hopes they will accept their gratitude. He does not want any benefit from them. If you don't accept it, we will all feel uneasy. Black Scythe looked completely bewildered. Although these items weren't particularly rare, they were still quite valuable. I received something even better than the items, a favor from the mercenary king. I did the mercenary king a favor, and I'm sure I'll receive his repayment in the future. He was originally obliged to come and kill the orc leader, but now he's taking advantage of the situation to accept their favor. They then left the orc tribe. Meanwhile, a girl was feeling uneasy. I've been here for an hour already. Is it really okay for me not to complete the task? Watching the mission countdown, my task hasn't made any progress yet. It's all my fault. I lost the information about the Black Scythe because of my own fear. It turns out that Black Scythe sent Julie to find the player's Black Scythe in round 5. She also told him that the Black Scythe was her friend and would help her survive the 5th round. Black Scythe was the regional representative for round 5, and Julie could have easily found him. But Julie was terrified by the Black Scythe's destruction of other representative areas. Black Scythe's performance on the platform completely exceeded Julie's expectations. In Julie's eyes, the Black Scythe was like the Grim Reaper. Even watching from the sidelines, Julie could feel its solemn killing intent. After Black Scythe finished the regional representative selection competition, Julie thought it was time to go find Black Scythe. I kept telling myself the Black Scythe won't hurt me, encouraging myself not to be afraid. After a few minutes, I finally calmed down. But when Julie came to her senses, the Black Scythe had already disappeared. Julie missed her chance to meet Black Scythe, and she began to panic. Recalling Black Scythe's words, if the Black Scythe wasn't found, they should wait an hour before taking action. I've been waiting for an hour now, and I still don't know when I'll see the Black Scythe. The next meeting might be the end of the round. I can't wait for the Black Scythe here any longer. I must go elsewhere to find him.